Grenada, Carriacou, Petite Martinique, and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Top of the afternoon to you. And welcome once again to another, dare I say, festive afternoon. I hope it turns out to be. I like it when there's, a lot of things when people like you, so Mr. Jack and you, Mr. Thomas, and you decide to come at me. I like it like that. Good afternoon, guys. How you doing? KB, how you doing? How's your week?
Fine. A lot of rain.
A lot of rain?
We had rain by me. And if rain in Southwest. Yeah, that's okay.
Not a lot. It rained, but not a lot. Yeah. Did the river overflow its banks? It came down dirty?
Not heavy, but really okay.
Okay. What's up, Richard?
It's cool. It's cool, bro.
Good. Nice to have you on.
Yeah.
Week was good?
I had a good week.
Say hello to your officers, those that are listening. Some listening, some must be listening.
Good afternoon to all my officers at Princess Audits, because you all gave me fire the afternoon for not calling you all.
There you go. See, I know. Something had to give. I know. Yeah.
You know? Yes, and to all the staff at the General Hospital, just continue to stay focused and be on board.
All right. Well, that's good. Nice to hear. Anybody you want to say hello to? Because I want to start off like that this afternoon, KB. Anybody you want to say hello to? Because we have to show people that, you mean a lot to us. Without the people who are listening,
Sister Jamie, Sister Maclina, and all the hard workers in St. Andrews, notice who goes out every day, knocking the doors, taking people's problems and helping solve it, bringing the information back to the office. That's a tedious task, and I want you to continue it. So all the NNP buffaloes in this country, keep working hard for your party and your country. Continue doing your good job. I want to salute you.
I take this opportunity to say good afternoon to all. I had a great week with my listeners, and I know most of my listeners listen on the Sunday afternoons also, meaning when I say my listeners, those between Monday to Friday, they listen to on a Sunday afternoon. So I take this opportunity to say good afternoon to them, and thank you very much for making Real FM Radio your choice. If you believe that there are things that we can do in terms of tweaking the program so as to make it better for you, the listener, then rest assured. Somebody met me this week, I must say, and said, hey, the guys from the National Democratic Congress asked to come in the program, and you did not let them come in the program. And I had to explain again, look, they can call me, and they can be a part of, as long as it's not on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are basically booked. So Mondays and Fridays, if they call, they can book a time and we can have a discussion. Outside of that, I cannot accommodate them on this program. It will not be fair for me to accommodate them on this program, because they may claim that I ain't treat them right. Because I could be very devious on this program. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So no, I would. The person said to me, so would you invite Keith Mitchell to your program? And I'm like, yeah, well, the program was designed for a particular political party. It wasn't designed for anything else. It speaks to what Keith Mitchell will speak to. We will question things that Keith Mitchell does if we don't understand it, and if we need more clarity, yes, we'll do that. Yeah. But this program speaks the narrative of Keith Mitchell and his political party. So it will not be correct for us to invite or to allow as a guest on the program someone from another political party. If they would want to call in and say something, I can't stop you. You can call in and you can speak.
Correct.
And you will have that opportunity to speak for your 2 minutes. If you want to put on call back for 2 minutes, fine by me, go ahead. But I cannot. I'm sorry. I cannot invite you. I cannot invite you on this program.
You cannot facilitate the agenda.
I can't facilitate. Plus, look at it this way. I already said that this program, right, this particular program, supports the views and principles of the New National Party. Well, duh. You would expect that it will be members of the New National Party who would be listening to the program. And the same person said to me, well, Andre, so you don't want to change some people's viewpoint and get them to support your party? I says, well, that is entirely up to them, but I am not going to facilitate their people so as to get them and try to change their viewpoint. No, that's this program is not to do so and change. As I said before, this program is to keep the group focused, the core membership of the New National Party, keep them focused, keep them motivated, and help them to go forward.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I cannot come here. I mean, I might come and have a laugh and say, well, I see some NDC in some yellow t-shirt walking down the road. I might just have a laugh. But I cannot come here and say, okay, fine, here's what the NDC is having a meeting this afternoon at X place or Y place and promote their meeting. I can't do that.
No.
You go to place.
Yeah.
Well, I won't be out of place, but it'd be unethical.
No.
It'd be unethical to do that. And they have to understand that. So
You could find other medium.
well, they have a lot of other mediums, you know. They have a lot of other mediums. I mean, the guy whose name shall not be mentioned, he does about 5 radio programs in one day, you know.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not like if they don't have other mediums. They have other mediums that they can use. They just want to terrorize me, that's all.
Okay.
But I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. My week was it was okay. I must say, for the first time, KB, on Wednesday last, I had Kendra
From,
Matthew and Stewart
okay.
from out of Carriacou. I had her on the program on Wednesday morning.
How's she doing?
She's doing well.
Okay.
She's doing well. She spoke to the family challenges recently, which had to do with one of her sons having to seek, and they having to bring him, I think it was Miami, to get medical attention. She spoke to that. It was a trying time for herself, her husband, and of course, you know, they went through it. They're back, of course. The son is doing a lot better. She did not say exactly what was wrong, and I thought that if she didn't want to say it, I wouldn't pursue it to say, you know, to ask what was wrong. But the son is doing better. And listening to her, one gets the impression that she is maturing. She's getting there. There was the feeling, you know, and I did get it from some people, and the feeling that, oh, fine, you know, she's not really theirs yet. But there's one person who called me out of Carriacou, and he said he listened to the program, and that's the best he has heard Kendra.
Okay.
So that tells me that she did resonate with
Yeah.
the people of Carriacou, because at least he called and said, look, Andre, I've listened to Kendra so many different times, but that is the best that I've heard Kendra. She was able to give information, and she was able to have a laugh, and you can feel her connecting with the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and that was good for her. So that, to me, was a good thing. We had a repeat of the program on Saturday morning, and that's what we tried to do, KB, is that we try to repeat our programs, the good ones that we have during the week. As a matter of fact, I think we have one there with Kate that we have not repeated as yet. So it may get repeated this Saturday morning, this Saturday coming, unless we get another one that, and then when the program director looks at it, he'll decide which one goes. You know, so himself and Nabila, they make the decision as to, okay, fine, this one goes or that one goes. But as I said, it was good to hear Kendra. It was really good. Go ahead, KB.
You said you don't feel she's one of these young, bright prospects inside the party now?
She's a bright prospect, although she would not have been brought into the folds of the New National Party. She's a bright prospect. So she's not becoming a bright prospect. She has been a bright prospect, and it has to do with maturity.
Yeah.
It has to do with maturity. I think her husband was one of the most matured young politicians, because he stayed. Remember, he was senator for a long while. Senator Nigel Stewart. He was senator for a long. As a matter of fact, it was like, okay, fine. If you see Nimrod, you see Nigel Stewart. That is, he was there in the Senate.
Okay.
He spent a long time in the Senate, gained a lot of experience in the Senate, and I'm sure he is at this time able to pass on some of his experiences to his wife. But so he too was a bright prospect. She's a bright prospect, and there are other bright prospects in Carriacou. Dr. Ram has a son who is a wonderful prospect. Tevin Andrews.
Yeah.
The only problem with Tevin Andrews is on the wrong side of the fence, but Tevin Andrews is a bright prospect.
Yes.
Yeah. So hey, I believe that as we go forward, KB, we'll continue to do what you just did, which is point out what you're calling bright prospects.
Yeah.
But if they weren't, remember this, that if they weren't bright prospects, they would not have been brought in the ranks of the. Let me tell you this. There's a young gentleman who was a bright prospect. Remember I said a bright prospect. He had all the makings of somebody who will go the distance. And then, because he could not wait, and because he became swell-headed, and he thought that, you know what, I don't need anybody. That's what he thought. I don't need anybody to get where I want to get. And as a result of that, he lost his way. And that gentleman has never, ever been able to right his ship and find his way. And it is rather unfortunate that it has happened. You know, I don't care which political party you support. That's neither here nor there to me. I would love for you to support the same party I support. But if you support another party, hey, by all means, go ahead. Be fine by me. Do what you got to do. But you must understand that when you support another political party, it does not mean, KB, it does not mean that you have to start to curse all other political parties. You can support any political party you want to, but you do not have to curse. You don't pull a man's leg, say something and say, hey boy, what happened to you? You understand? Like you do so and say, well, Nas, what's wrong with you, man? When you going back into this thing for? You don't do so and leave the thing and go on with your business. There you go. But you don't have to cuss Nazim Burke.
No.
You don't have to cuss him.
No.
Because he doesn't deserve that.
No.
Do you understand? You may not like what Keith Mitchell would have done.
You don't have to cuss him.
But you don't have to cuss Keith Mitchell.
No.
You can say, hey, Regine,
Yeah.
you know, I ain't like what you're doing. I believe that you should have been more careful in relation to the shrimp farm. Yeah. You can say that.
Yes, of course, yes.
And there's nothing wrong in saying that. And he would do something, turn around and say to you, well, we were following procedures. It's just that this one fell through.
Yeah.
It fell through the crack. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that that's the end of it, because they are still going behind the individual to find whatever.
Yeah.
So one must understand and appreciate the fact it is okay
to disagree.
It is okay to support another political party. There's nothing wrong
with that.
There is nothing wrong with you supporting another political party.
But respect people.
Respect is what is needed.
Respect.
You can stay, listen, you can stay in your political party. You can stay in your political party. Respect all your representatives. but you don't necessarily agree with what all the representatives are doing.
That's correct. No.
You respect the prime minister, but the prime minister may take a decision on the environment that you don't like, but you don't have to cuss him for that.
No.
You can politely say, Chief, that decision that you took in relation to climate change, I don't really like that one. I ain't supporting you on that one. But it doesn't mean that you have to go and tell him he's stupid nonsense.
No.
Well, who give you that right?
Don't demonize him.
You can't demonize him for that. And that is our problem in Grenada, is that we have ceased to understand that you can disagree with a man, you can dislike what a man is doing, probably you can even hate, but you ain't have to do so and go out there and start to discredit the man with your language.
And that's how you earn people respect, you know. It's how you behave with your enemy. How you treat your enemy, you know. You earn people respect. You treat your enemies with respect. They are human beings. They have family. They have feelings. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You want to understand that? You can't say you don't care. You can't. No, you can't. We can't build society like that.
You can't do that.
And the worst thing, if you're in a leadership position and you're demonizing the people in authority, how do you expect people will treat you when you sit in that same chair the prime minister sitting in? Would you like people to demonize you? Call you all kind of funny name? Disrespect the authority or the office of the prime minister?
It is really sad, especially when I read a comment by a youngster, and the youngster does not support the New National Party. And what I read is that it gives you the impression that you should take the country and give it to them so that they could run the country. Because he's claiming that with the youth they have, with their young age, the first thing he's claiming is that he has experience. So I'm like, but you're not even 30 yet. Where you get the experience? What is the experience you have?
A track record.
Do you understand? And you want to run country. We have to be careful. I keep saying to people, Kennedy Butler and them was in their teens when they take the country from Gary, you know.
And the results after.
And look at what happened to them, you know. Kennedy Butler and them. The commissioner of police in that period was about 25 years old, you know. The commissioner of police, you know. And this is not, people don't understand.
And he was never a police
before. He was never a police before, you know. But he was a commissioner of police. So you had men in the police force who probably was twice time his age.
Who experience.
Would have been in policing more than his age. Who go through the ranks, understand policing. And here you had somebody who they took over the country last week and they put him in charge. He's the commissioner of police. You understand? Look at what happened. And I keep saying that. And I could mention his name because I cool with him in terms of I could mention Ali's name, and I keep seeing Ali pushing the young people and the young people and the young people might figure that I hate them. I don't hate them.
No,
I care about them.
You care about the country too?
And I care about
the country, not them country you care about. Country. Sometimes, Andre, when some people say, KB, it's time for Dr. Mitchell to go, I just ask them what they're talking about. I say, are you sure you know what you all talking about? I say, you have Matthew leadership. Matthew, yes, you will make mistake, but you see in maturity and keeping this country safe and keeping people together, keeping his party. You see maturity, would you risk putting the hands of immature people. We had experience with it before. We have experience. Don't make that mistake. Let's take with time. It working for us, Messi. We see the results. It's working. Don't change what working for us. Don't change it.
It's not a matter it's working for us, KB. Let us look at the world. Let us look at the world. Don't just look at Grenada like if Grenada is the only place in the world. Look at the world.
And the kind of leaders.
And look at the leaders that we have. And look at the leaders.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Look at the leaders and understand, what's going on.
Germany.
Come on, man.
France.
Come on,
Russia.
man. Come on.
America. England. Even Trinidad. You understand? You see maturity. Barbados. Antigua.
Somebody's saying our audio is not good. Where is the audio not good? Oh, no. Sorry if it is. All right. Yeah, Master Carl is supposed to be on the program today. Somebody's asking that question. Yeah. Master Carl, aren't you supposed to be on the program today? Where are you? Yeah. Oh, they're balling out Guru. Go ahead. Ask KB why he's still supporting Kate. Or Kitty. Oh, Kate. Oh, that's how they spell Kate? Jesus Christ. You guys have to stop the stupidness. You know that people ain't reading this thing just because they want to read it. They read it because they have to. Come on, Dennis Charles. Don't be such. Dennis Charles is this guy? Is he? Is he, Kerry? Is it the guy from your area?
That's my brother-in-law. He come in and run for GULP. Dennis Charles. He tell me he have a white suit already.
What is it? He was known by another name.
Dennis Charles, you know.
That's how you know him? You don't have an alias?
No.
Okay. Where's he from?
Tivoli.
And your brother-in-law?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He come in and run for GULP. He have a white suit already.
So he says, ask KB why he still support Keith, KWTE, when NNP has done nothing for us country folks. Dennis Charles, hold on.
You responding to that? You respond to Dennis, let Dennis make him and pop out on Facebook, no man.
No. Dennis Charles, you can't spell Keith. You can't spell Keith. And you want to come and run for country? What the hell is that?
GLP run for.
It can't be GLP. GLP ain't so stupid.
Yes, he a candidate. You call out his name last time you see on
GLP?
GLP.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you call
Oh
him.
My God.
He ran for GLP. Ask him to stop supporting the Stone Age party because he's trying to revive a Stone Age party now. Don't give Dennis much attention anyway. He's not serious.
Okay, Bigger Ford is saying good afternoon to you, Richard and KB. You know who's Bigger Ford? He's not saying good afternoon to me. He's saying you and KB. All right, so I have to ask you if you know.
Steve Bless, thank you.
Yeah, Pat is saying good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Pat.
Right, yeah.
Claire, good afternoon to you. He's AKA Grappa? Is that how they used to call Dennis? Grappa?
No, man.
You sure? Well, let's see. We'll somebody may speak to that. Yes. The picture, it's stuck. We know it's stuck. And I made a promise that I'm not going to speak about the cameras again. I kind of like, okay, friends, here's what's going on. Yeah, I know the video frees Mr. David Griffith. I know that. But here's what's happening. I'm in the process of doing some savings so I can invest in the proper cameras to do this thing. And so you have to give me a little minute. Maybe I'll tell you why. What month are we in? The 6th month? Maybe based on how things come in, maybe by the end of the middle of the 7th month or the end of the 7th month, I might be able to do this. All right, folks? So understand the situation as it is right now. Yeah, Master Carl, where are you? You're not here with us. You're not good, not being a good guy. Look at the Queen. She's staying in she position however long there. Nobody don't tell Elizabeth Komodi. Yeah? Nobody don't tell her. She has to born lie,
Yes.
Yeah? Yes, she born lie. Nobody don't tell her, hey, come on, Elizabeth, come on. Nobody don't say that. You know? Nobody, Biden, nobody. All they saying, what's a nice president in the United States? How you better than Trump? Yeah. Okay, fine, yes. You didn't know you old too.
Yeah.
You see, Alia? Morning, afternoon, good day. Hi.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and good afternoon to KB and Mr. Thomas.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon to the rest of Grenada. I think I want to support you, Mr. Andre, and the note that you start up this morning with. I think that's a fairly good note where you don't have to hate somebody or curse somebody if you don't like what they do. I totally in support with that. And in politics, we see too much of that.
Yeah.
Too much of that. And I really, really, really give you credit for that this morning.
I think he prayed last night.
I've seen it happen. People curse Tillman, people curse Keith Mitchell, people curse Nazim because you don't like a decision they make. There's a lot of decisions that Dr. Mitchell make that I, Clifford Breedman, don't like. But I'm still a supporter of the party. And I still will tell him when the chance comes, look, I don't like that decision you make. And we still remain friends. Mr. Tillman Thomas is a very good friend of mine. But I do not see him as a politician that was really ready to take leadership. But I think he is a good man, otherwise than that. And I stand that. This gentleman that ran in Grenville, he used to be teacher, principal in SAS, Simmons.
Yeah.
He's a very good friend of mine.
Nice friend, I like him.
But Simmons makes some mistakes while he was a politician. He made some statements that really didn't help his political life at all. One of them is when he said that he preferred to spend money on what before he spent money on juvenile children. You remember that? Very same statement. He said that he don't always support what the Prime Minister do, but he could follow him blindly. That again. So,
there ain't nothing wrong with that.
No. I ain't following nobody blind.
Well, there ain't nothing. That's what he chooses to do.
Right. And there are a lot of people that make mistakes. There's the time when Dr. Mitchell made the statement in the same Progress Park, where he's going to bring down foreign judge and that money was he shouldn't get more. I wasn't satisfied with that.
That your business?
I know it's my business. Just telling you how I feel.
Still is.
Right? I don't thought there was the place and time for that day. But I still can tell you that of all the prime ministers that Grenada had, Dr. Mitchell have lived out most of them, all of them.
Well, that's a given.
Yes.
That's a given. You had to guess that.
Track record, but he told me that.
But I'm telling you, that's how I feel about it.
Clifford.
Yeah.
Tell me some news now, man. On news, you tell me still news again with there today. I understand you, man.
That's still news.
That's still news.
That just emphasize what you have said there to show that I have seen this thing a wrong trend where people just cursing politicians because they don't like them and because they're supporting whatnot. I don't believe in them system, and I think is you have touched the nail on the right head there. We don't have to hate. We must be able to tell. It's like our home. I don't always satisfy with what may happen at the home. I don't think my home will always satisfy what happen. But again, I still have to live here until such time. Mm-hmm. You know. So I think that's a good way to send that message across to people. And you know how to and yes, you talk about people getting swell-headed. I think some politicians or some people who are aspiring to be politicians get too swell-headed too quick. They tie before they hold. And when they tie the rope and the animal gun. So you have to be very careful.
All right.
I remember telling Miss Kate, if she doesn't get swell-headed, she will make a very good politician. She's a people's person. And I think if she can grow into a very good politician, she have the grounds to grow. I told her that, and I believe that she have the grounds to grow. If she doesn't get things and she remain humble to her people, she will make a very good politician. A whole lot of that for the time being.
All right, thanks. Good. Real 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. Good afternoon to you, wherever you are. Nigel John, you were wondering what we are discussing this afternoon. Well, this afternoon, as always, Nigel, we talk about different things, and we appreciate your comments. If you're going to call us, that's no problem whatsoever. reminding you that we try to limit the calls to at least 2 minutes per caller so that, persons would have an opportunity to call in. There are times when we'll decide, okay, fine, we give you an extra minute or two. All right? You guys still frozen there. Yeah, so that is the thing that caused that. But don't worry about that. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, sir.
Kennedy.
Hello.
Are you talking about Eric Charles?
Eric is the bigger brother. Eric is the one that is so accustomed.
One of the other brothers. Okay.
Dennis is the younger brother.
The younger one. Okay, right. I thought I was the only gay right in Grenada now.
No, you have one or two, maybe about 6 or 7, not much. They have a slit. They said they have a slit, so you have to be about 15.
Okay.
15.
Well, I wasn't aware of that going on.
Yeah, man. You will never know.
Anyway, listening on.
All right, good. Good, Dennis.
Very good.
Dennis is the younger brother. Yeah. And there is something happened last weekend, that really pissed off most of the workers on the St. Patrick's Road project.
St. Patrick's Road project. You mean at Hermitage?
Hermitage go to Pointsville. Government, they rent this boxing plant to study equipment and materials from Nutmeg Association. It happened that government now don't pay all the money, don't pay on time. Do you know Tillman Thomas' nephew called Tino, Tino up in St. John, went and put a padlock on the door, locked the workers out.
Which door? Where?
The same boxing plant government, they at Pointsville.
Pointsville there?
Yeah.
He put a lock on the gate?
Lock it because he said he is a member of the board or something, and government so they decide to lock the workers out. So everybody asks, we get that authority?
You mean where you get that authority?
We get that kind of hate?
Who is the chairman of the board?
Mr. Keto.
Where you from?
Well, he's the NDC.
Ask you where you from.
St. John.
Where the guy from?
St. John, same village.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
So what is strange?
I'm not going to agree with you that he got instruction. I can't handle the lawsuit. I'm not going to say he got instruction. I just ask you, who is the chairman of the board, and where does the chairman of the board, where is he from? Where does he live? He doesn't live there, does he? He doesn't live in St. John. He doesn't live in Upper St. John. The chairman of the board, he's from
St. John, yes.
Right? But he doesn't live there. That's all.
I agree.
That's all I want to know.
Yeah, but what is strange
What is strange? There ain't nothing strange. It shows...
That's a level that's hate, and sabotage.
KB, but don't you know that the National Democratic Congress is made up of such? They're made up of hate.
So you go lack of that.
Yes.
You don't feel proud of the road from Google Belly to Pointsville?
They hate development.
Yes, they do hate development.
Do you understand?
And they will stop it.
Government,
Yes.
When Nutmeg Association broke and they want money, they go to government. Cocoa Association broke, they want money, they go to government.
So then you as a citizen, you must stand up now and say, Kit Mitchell, don't take me money and give that people and them again, because look at what they're doing me.
You have the workers
to fix your road, your road they have to fix.
You have the workers outside for hours they can't get in. Because Tillman Thomas' nephew go and put padlock on the door and say, look, all you owe Nutmeg Association, government owe, so we're closing down the project. What a shame.
I am not ashamed.
I discuss it with a couple NDC. They turn in their head. They don't want to discuss it.
I am not ashamed, Kennedy. I'm not ashamed.
I feel shame for them. I feel bad for them.
No, I ain't feel bad for them. I'm happy.
That is hatred to the bone.
I know.
Your time there, anytime, and this tractor get the slightest chance to close it down, they will. Because they want progress, they want production.
But a project everybody proud of right now, the bypass. They take off the bypass, and you're passing on the bridge now. You understand? Rain could fall, bucket a drop now. It would not overflow affect the flow of traffic. You're not proud of that? And the government of Grenada, you say the government of Grenada owe Nutmeg Association, so you go and close down the government project? Well, I could understand.
But hold on. Another thing you have to find out, you have to realize, that the government of Grenada did not rent the facilities from whosoever own it. I don't know whether it's Nutmeg that own it or Cocoa own it. Because, hold on. Because first and foremost, I know it was a boxing plant for bananas.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they buy it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That's the first thing. I don't know if they bought it.
Yeah.
Or if something happened. It was a boxing plant first for bananas. There was no nutmeg and no cocoa thing there. Over the years, with the outs of bananas, then we will see Cocoa Association using the facility
To store.
to buy cocoa.
It is still
Right. Now, here's what. The government of Grenada did not rent the facility from whosoever owned it. It was rented by the persons who
Do the project.
doing the project. The company doing the project.
Yeah.
So you had to deal with a company. So maybe he was dealing directly with a company and not government, of course, definitely. But the fact that he locked the place down means that he affected the state. Because he brought to a halt the development of the state. Now somebody, Mr. Derek Laborde. Good afternoon to you, Derek Laborde. How are you doing? This is not an NDC issue. Never did I say, my brethren, that it was an NDC issue. I never did. I just said that the NDC does not like progress. I never said that it was an NDC. Don't get it twisted, Mr. Laborde. You understand? Don't make statements that I did not make or that any one of my people here didn't make. All right? If your finger scratching you, rub your hands together and stop typing. Like
But maybe he don't like the idea as his Tillman Thomas nephew.
that is what he didn't like. But he doesn't, the thing about it, he does not know for a fact that if elections call tomorrow, if Tillman Thomas will vote NDC.
Yeah, he know that.
He doesn't know that for a fact. Tillman Thomas could decide on two things, or three things. He had three choices. One, don't vote. Two, vote for NDC. Or three, decide, you know what? I am tired of these people. They mean nothing at all. They can't handle this country. I'm going to ensure that Keith Mitchell and his crew stay and manage this thing, which I believe is what he will do.
Like Yatai.
Well, if Katai could change, who is Tillman? I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
See, well, the point is that I don't understand. If he don't understand how bad it will reflect on Tillman by going and put this padlock on this door. I don't think that he get blocked off that time.
Okay, do you know if the person who they're renting there were informed?
Still,
Because
Boy, you
Does the you see,
you take the matter to court.
the first thing we have to do here, KB, is to recognize who does the facility belong to? Right? Who does the facility belong to? That's one. Secondly, does the gentleman have the authority from the person or the group or the company that he belongs to put a padlock on the gate? Thirdly, you put a padlock on the gate. Can you, and KB, a simple house that you're renting, and the tenant do so and go down the road to buy a ponga saltfish and come back and you put a padlock on the door,
You're in trouble.
You're in a lot of trouble. So what the guy is upset, what Derek Laborde is upset with you about is the fact that you say Tillman, because he knows he's a stupid mover. You understand? And he does not want Tillman to be associated with that kind of dotish move. And I can understand him. Because I know Tillman will vote NNP next election. I know that. I don't have to talk to him to find that out. Because he knows that it is a stupid move not to vote. And it's a stupid move to vote NDC. He knows that. Tillman is not a stupid. He's a smart man.
I think Tilo nephew had a block off. I couldn't realize that.
No, he's stupid.
No, what about this man? He has some form of authority.
I ain't going back there.
But what about
the
point is that all the workers upset. The workers don't wait, They break the padlock and go inside and start walking.
I didn't want to say that, but that's what I would have done.
Workers say, what wrong with this man? They break the padlock and they go and start to walk.
They want to produce.
But the point is that man come to work.
I'm making a guy famous today, Derek Labo. I don't know. You tell me I cannot speak for him. I can speak for you, Derek. What happened to you? Who are you listening to right now? You're listening to me, I am infiltrating your brain. Know that. I'm inside your head now. I come like a blood vessel. You better be careful. You don't pop.
Yeah, they admit him Tilo nephew screw up.
Big time.
He really screw up. He make the family look bad. He make Tilo look bad. Because he's right now. He's campaigning with Kito, eh?
Let me tell you
right
something.
now.
He did not make Mr. Thomas look bad. That is not Mr. Thomas that do that. He's the nephew. He did not make Mr. Thomas look bad. Mr. Thomas already changed his political allegiance. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes,
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How you all doing? Good?
Good, yes.
Yeah. But Kerry, I heard you mention that the young man, Tino, is Tillman's nephew. But sometimes Tillman didn't have an idea what happened. He never sent the young man, so I think it might be a little bit wrong to say that.
I just said that.
Yeah.
I just told him that. Yeah, wrong.
You have no idea.
You don't have no idea about that.
Yeah. But I want to take you all back a bit to the 1984 election. After the invasion, when all these guys came together to get rid of Gary at the time, because I think they didn't want Gary come back into power. Remember after that invasion?
Yeah.
Go on. We're listening to you. We old enough.
And there was, NNP at the time had 114 MPs. And Marcel Peters of the GOLP at the time was opposition. He alone won his seat. So I mentioning that to say, in order for any party to challenge Mitchell administration, I think that all these other groups or parties or NGOs, whatever they name themselves, they need to come together to repeat that kind of victory the NNP started with in 84.
That's what you want to happen?
I think that's what they...
I ask you a question. Is that what you want to happen?
It's my opinion.
I know it's your opinion. I am asking you, is that what is... Do you want that to happen?
I would say so, yes.
Right. No problem. I just want to know where you stand, Bridget.
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, are you afraid to speak up on?
You feel they have all that sense?
What do you think?
When you say they have all the sense,
I said, do you feel the NDC executive leadership have all that sense?
But that's what they need to do at this point in time. That's what I think that's the right thing to do in order to defeat Michel and his government.
Right.
To defeat?
So and if you realize just now I said Mr. Thomas, you may not like him, but he commands that sort of respect. Mr. Mitchell for you. Okay?
After Mitchell?
Say again?
Did I say only Mitchell?
Yeah, you said Mitchell.
Okay, so Dr. the Right Honorable.
Yes.
Give him
He
more
qualified.
Give him more is his. All of that is his and more.
I respect.
All right then. All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Have a nice
Take care. Wonderful. Have a nice day. Great.
Boy, I tell you they could team up.
Labo you again, hold on. Labo you again. I rather fall for something than stand for nothing. Well, Labo, that's your business.
Yeah, not you.
Labo, do you really have your belly today?
Yes.
I hope you have
I stand for
data. I hope you have enough data.
As the caller said, that you want the organization to come together. But now, is that the best thing for the country?
Yeah.
It's up to them.
That's up to him. That's up to him.
They could join up. What join most boss? They could join up.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Yes, sir. That gentleman that just spoke there, I have better news for him. Because in the Caribbean, a lot of parties try that, and they fail. Trinidad, it was a failure. Camela and the others, with Jack One and all of them, and we saw what happened. Those things don't last. So I don't think the gentleman, that is his opinion, but I don't think he should go down pushing that, because that won't help. We tried in Grenada, it didn't last. They team up against Dr. Mitchell, and they say slash this, slash that. That didn't work. It wouldn't work joining these different political parties. They may win the election, but they won't stay together. They cannot stay together. They wouldn't stay together. So I don't think it's something he should think. I mean, that's his opinion, and he have a right to it. But we have personal experience to prove that don't work. And not only in the Caribbean, I don't know of any country that done that and you see it work for long. It don't work.
All right, so, got you, Cliff.
Good.
All right, good. It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.10 minutes before the 2 o'clock hour. You were saying?
Yes, and one thing I know about Grenada and Grenadians, anything that join up,
Most boss.
most boss, I should know it. Because no, we had experienced it before. You understand? We had experienced it before. So now, nobody will not encourage it. And nobody will go for it.
We've got the guy, what's his name again? Carl Caton. He called. Good afternoon, Carl Caton.
Yes, Mr. Donald. What's up?
I'm all right. How you doing? You're supposed to be here this afternoon.
I'm here, but you're not letting me in.
You outside?
Yeah, but if you read your last communique from me, you realize I'm sitting outside here.
Let me go to the last communique from you. I didn't read it. Let me see. Oh, you just got there. Stop it, Carl Caton. Stop it. Okay, so Carl Caton is outside. Yeah, somebody's coming to let you in. All right. So Claire Joseph, I see you got your wish. Carl Caton is here. All right. So let's see how we can do this. Okay. Mr. Carl Caton is outside. This is real 91.9. Stay with us, friends. We've got company.
Has only created disorder. Unions are formed for men to speak as one. NATO to ensure that no one country has autonomy over the other. United Nations to address issues of war, famine and disasters. Commercially, NAFTA and WTO are designed to protect us from ourselves. But still, they do not deal with the real issues.
They're not deal with the real issue.
91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. All sorts of single file things just take place there, folks. All craziness just happened. I tried this, I tried that, I tried the other. So I probably okay. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens with this. We're going to this camera thing really gonna kill us now, but we're gonna try to do our best there. So, Carl Caton, can you go to your right a bit, please? Yeah, you need to go to your right. Yeah, go on to your right. Good. Right. That probably can work there. So I can see KB in this one, and I can see Carl Caton. And yeah, folks, you wouldn't be able to see me, but you know me. You don't need to. You don't need my face in your living room at this particular point in time. Not when I have three guests with me: Carl Caton, Richard Thomas, and Kennedy. Which Jack? Okay, you said Kennedy Jack. I didn't say. Good afternoon, Carl Caton. How you doing? Nice to have you, man. You lived up. You lived up. You lived up. I mean, what's her name? Who's it? Was it Claire? Yeah, Claire was saying Carl Caton. I thought you were supposed. You saw that comment, didn't it? No, I didn't see that comment was on the Facebook. She's like, hey. Right. So you nice to have you, Caton. Nice to have you with us. How's your week? Somebody is saying Master Carl and Messi are brothers. How they big so?
There was police.
Yeah, adult. Yeah,
not only police. We sat on the same bench in school too.
Moncton SD.
Okay, I know. Okay. I am hearing, and help me here, Richard, that Carl Caton was a fast bowler.
Open ball. You hear now?
You are.
Yes.
Well, something go wrong. Why?
I know Messi is a goalkeeper for Islanders. But me and Messi used to use the new one. Messi was the goalkeeper too.
Yeah.
And I used to play in front for stop and defense.
Hold that.
So,
so what go wrong?
Nothing go wrong.
Guys, something went wrong.
No.
Something definitely went wrong. You know, this is crazy.
What you have times there when you enter certain institution. You understand? Remember, Carl went to the police, I went to the police. Okay?
Why do you want to choose NNP?
The best choice, something like that. The best choice, bro. The best choice.
Well, any personal thing you want to put in this country first, or to be under the umbrella of NNP.
All right. But let me just give you a good afternoon. You know Stedlin Isaac?
Yeah.
All right. So Stedlin is a guy, right? Or a girl? A girl? A girl. She says, good afternoon, Carl Squaddy Caton. Yeah. I know you like that.
You know me very well.
That's what I tell you, that Squaddy. She has to know you. She has to know you. All right. Nice to have you on the program again. It's indeed a joy to have you on the program.
The program on the way down. You are making the point about the gentleman who locked up the place. And most people from that organization, first of all, they seem to know more than everybody. And like they will tell you, my constitutional right to support whoever I want, which is right. However, if you do support the same thing with them, either it's a stupidity or a loss. So the constitutional right only stop with them. And they seem to do have respect. In the same way they will call the president, prime minister, all kind of names, and they have people who are sitting among them who wouldn't say nothing. They wouldn't say, well, I mean, the office of so-and-so ought to be
respected.
Even though they like the person or the office.
Yeah.
So my take is, it will happen in the next 25 years. However, if they get there, I wonder how they will treat the person, the whole of the office.
You asking me the question?
Well, you is a guru, and so they will be out for the next 25 years. And then you bring up the point about youth and the present prime minister and everybody saying time has spent and so forth. But the same set of people, I just want to ask them this simple question. Every time, from since after the revolution, anytime during our crisis, who is at the helm? And we always getting through.
Yeah, we going down looking for the elderly statesman. We look for Blaze to rescue.
So you have some situation which in the country.
Yeah.
And I don't even and what in these young fellas them if they had the country at the helm, carpool smoke with pipe.
Yeah,
The thing about it, they're not willing to learn. Learn from the best. So when the time comes, you have some fortitude, you'll know what you're doing. Whatever you're trying to trample, learn. You must have something you could learn. And if you're speaking about politics in the whole region, KB,
Yeah.
and you're talking about Mount Rushmore of politics in the region, our Prime Minister is there on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
You talk about the Forbes, Bonham,
Yeah.
and so on. The Keith Mitchell have to be mentioned.
Yeah, you can't leave him out.
No, you can leave
You can't leave him out.
the kids at all.
You may not like him, but you have to accept it as a fact.
So there's this wave of disrespect towards the Prime Minister going around. And what makes me sad, KB, is not that persons can have their opinion, but when you sit idly by and allow that to happen, and you're not saying anything.
That's the danger.
No, I all the time say I hope they could take it when the turn come around.
The leadership must guide the followers. They must set the tune. If the leadership set good tune, the followers will follow that tone, you know. That is exactly. When you set bad tone, they go follow bad tone. You must set good tone. People, your followers will follow you. You give respect, you will honor respect. You understand? And that is the problem with the opposition. It's sometimes really pain me to hear some of the comments. I was in Terry shop the other day. We were having a political discussion. And then this guy came and he said, boy, to get rid of Keith Mitchell, you have to shoot him down. In every
That's not a joke,
present, you know.
That's a serious thing.
In everybody present, that's you know, hear what the man say, not say the man no hype you say that, you know. In everybody present. And I said, look man, in every time you had an old piece of green van going wrong. Now you have a brand new Isuzu. That shows things looking up for you. But he said that's the only way. The man don't hide to say that he had about 12 people there.
Is the guy a farmer?
A farmer. I say, oh, how the man could make that statement?
Is that the guy who works at the prison?
No.
Oh, okay.
I said, look, but you could make that statement in everybody present.
Nobody
make it as a joke, but
but you want them to know. Because no. Because if you realize now that there is no way and that the nation is behind Dr. Mitchell. Because he have been performing with distinction for the longest while.
Yeah, he won shortcut.
You understand?
I said, we made the shortcut in the revolution. We made that shortcut. But yeah, that's why I'm saying I've been looking at that two murders that took place.
2 murders?
Yeah. That two,
we had 2 murders?
No, it's two murders? No,
2 deaths?
2 deaths.
2 deaths.
Yeah. But I'm saying you have certain crime. In my opinion, the public may not like it. That deserves the death penalty.
I know how you reach there so quick, eh?
Yeah, but you know, I'm talking about this. It's because of the statement the guy make that you know, push me
to reach there. Yeah.
To reach there. You understand? But he has certain crime really deserve the death penalty. Honestly.
I will prefer us not to venture into that, because that is something that's before the court, and things that may be said here, while it may be said in good jest, but it can have implications in relation to the court. We acknowledge the fact that there have been 2 deaths, and we await to see what the gentleman has he been charged as yet, Richard? Do you know? The one in the Jahangla area, has the gentleman been charged?
Yeah.
He's been charged with what?
He went to court.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's been charged with what?
Yeah, a few charges, because even for the daughter.
Okay.
Because he had charges against the daughter also.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other one, which is the one that happened, the death that occurred in the holding cell.
Yeah.
That I await the police's investigation into that. I personally said that I thought that Mr. the gentleman who spoke for and on behalf of the police.
Cohen?
I don't know if that's what you call him. Then it could be yes. I believe that he spoke too quickly. In both incidents, I think that he spoke too quickly, and that is something I've come to realize. What is happening with the RGPF? They are speaking too quickly on matters. You have to take your time and make sure that you cross all the T's and dot all the I's before you offer a statement to the public. Yeah. You cannot and you should not let the media force you into making statements, and then you realize, Jock, I said something here that should not have been said or whatever. So if I'm the commissioner doing some transfer Cohen,
you should not succumb to public pressure.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't at all.
I'm concerned about these young people in the 30s, early 30s and 20s, you know, that,
but
you know, involved in this, that really very unfortunate. Enjoy your life, so early in your youth, end up on a mother child, and then you die in police custody.
KB, this week, what I realized is that there is an increase in incident with the police, because we had an incident where a police went into a business place with the business with a mask, and he was asked by the security officer to put on his mask. The security officer the police arrested the security officer.
But are you sure are you sure of the details? You see, I'm very careful.
I got this information
from
the commissioner addressed the situation publicly.
Okay.
I got it from even Country Code.
And what you are saying here is what the commissioner said.
Yes.
Okay.
You understand?
I didn't hear the commissioner.
Because what David said is that when the police brought the security to the police station, they took a statement from him and released him without charging him, and said that they will investigate the matter.
I don't understand this. If I'm a security and a police came and you simply ask the police officer, you know you need to wear your mask, the police will arrest me for that. You sure you have no kind of confrontation or some hard words and so on? I find it's just, that's so simple. If you politely ask a police officer, hey, you need to wear your mask. Where's your mask? The police will just arrest me for that?
KB.
You sure you have no harsh words, no confrontation?
Do you think you have time, you have officers who believe that no, the security has no right to address them because them are in charge?
I can remind security.
I will be very, hold on, KB. I'll be very careful how I make those statements, because again, I don't know the circumstances.
No, Andre, I have been.
I don't want to defend the police, but
I have experience on many occasions that I might be on work and the police might come, right? And I say, officer, you cannot park there. They feel know that I should not tell them how to park there. You understand? But I usually tell them, Chief, I am in charge of this operation here. You understand? And if there is no parking, here is only for emergency vehicles. Yes. You understand? No, I will allocate a park for you. No problem. Yeah. You understand? I will give you a park. Yeah. I have no problem giving you a park. But no, you cannot park here. It's just simple. You understand? And the way they might react. You understand?
Yeah,
I just wonder.
To arrest a person, they must commit an offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And telling somebody to put on a mask, in my view,
is not an offense.
That's what
but must have
something else.
A reason.
Okay.
No, I was not there, but I just telling you.
But listen to me now. Why did they really only take a statement from the security officer and release him without charge?
Richard, if you in charge of any police place, and any police bringing any person on a charge, you being the person in charge, once you assess the situation, you're cool.
Yeah.
Release the person pending for the investigation. That is not.
Yes.
That does not mean
Yes.
you don't have a charge or charges wouldn't come. So what the police did was fit and proper, because you have something they call abuse of the process. You don't want to abuse the process. So it's best to let the person go and do whatever investigation you have to.
Yes.
So in that bread, and the police wasn't wrong to release the person and take a statement. Because it's something contentious, as we saying, you hear on one side that the security put on your mask, but the police, in my view, must have a reasonable reason for arresting a person. You can't just go willy-nilly and somebody tell you, put on your mask, arresting them for that. However, Richard, you in charge of security, and you must understand some security have an air, and they feel because they in charge, they know that they will just say things. So let me wait and see how that pan out. But I want to speak on the police a bit. In recent times, from since the fiasco had gone, the police has rendered themselves incapable of carrying out the security needs of the state. Because first of all, the compromising one, the same gentleman Andre was alluding to was there on live, and people seeing him making a set of calling the deputy
and saying,
this kind of nonsense, and there was
Papi chauvinist.
There was this ambassador walking with the firearm brandishing, and he rolls up engagement, and up to now nothing happened. Nothing happened because he must know once you have firearm, there's something where you carry fire. You can't have it. So since from the Guam issue, then you go back to some issue in Baghdad when the curfew is being violated every time, and the fact it remains when some police claim when they go to bring some semblance of respectability to the place, they meeting higher police than them there, so they can't act. So person take cue from that. And the respect has been eroded as to how people deal with police. And I think the police for fair, anytime the public outcry, trying to appease.
So
the police
that is it.
Got in the state of appeasement.
That is it.
Anytime somebody says something, or somebody make a report to somebody, Mr. Cohen and others, quick to come on the media to appease the public.
And you have to stop that.
And you can't do that. A public that has showed disregard. Look at what happened last Carnival Tuesday, or what it's supposed to be, with all this Juve thing, and it was a whole set of appeasement. So the police has gone into the business of appeasement.
And listen, they've gone into it, and they're mistaking appeasement for community policing.
And not only that, remember, a set of people who we as one officer in Jamaica put it, who is breaking all the rules, you will see them giving particular police kudos on social media, who are allowing them to do stupidness. And they're saying they're doing good and they're rating up these people and them. Hence why when promotion come and these people are not promoted, they feel aggrieved because the public saying they're doing good. But what we as law-abiding citizens realize is appeasing wrongdoing, and once the public or anybody challenge anything, they go and make a kind of statement, put their foot in their mouth, and when situation occur, which they should sit back in deliberation before they make moves, and then you find all kind of thing happen. Yeah. So if somebody listening or the commissioner listening, he should arrest the situation.
But he had a press conference on what, Friday was it? On Thursday, Friday, there was a press conference by the hierarchy of the police force. I did not get a chance to listen because I had other things that I had to take care of. So that is something I still have to go back and listen. What I was appeased. I was given a bit of I felt good that I did not, in the listing before the press conference, it did not say that Mr. Cohen was going to be there. And I'll be straight up. I have nothing against Mr. Cohen, right? However, Mr. Cohen has to understand that he is not the commissioner of the police. He speaks, yes, for and on behalf of the police, that is correct, but he's not the commissioner. And until we realize that, he is going to continue to appease people, Keaton, because he wants to speak first.
And then the commissioner put the commissioner
put in the
serious position.
Of course. he continues to do that time and time again.
I hope for the whole state of law enforcement, I hope they get this thing right. Because you don't want every time something happens, they have to run and say something, and people go lose confidence.
Yep. It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5. If those of you who are viewing us on the live, you realize that you're seeing KB, you're seeing Katon, and you're seeing Richard. Squatty, right? You see Squatty, you're seeing Richard. And that is because well, as I told you, the issue with the word I wouldn't mention, let me mention it once more, the camera issue. So you're not seeing me, but you hear my voice, and in your custom, you know who I am anyway. And yes, as I did promise Richard, if not by the middle of the next month, but by the end of the next month, I hope to be able to solve these issues in relation to the cameras and what we do here. But I thank you, the viewers, for understanding the situation as it is. You were going to say something, KB?
Yeah, well, just around the carnival season last year, when they had that first jury in Lafayette, where they go against the police orders. And I said on this radio station, that's a sign. You resist the police as what you say, tolerate, they're going to go on to bigger things. They will defy the police now. Because you didn't put your foot down and stop it in Lafayette. And the people ignore, they play the job, they cross authorities. God bless, they did not spread. And around COVID time.
Yeah, in the middle of it.
COVID time. The same thing happened in Trinidad. The people wasn't listening. They go to party, birthday party. Now we got out of control. You understand? God bless, we have it under control. And I don't know what will happen later on during the carnival season. If people will again defy the authority and play mass, have party, enjoy themselves, and don't care about the COVID situation. And if the police going to sit idle by, and the government will say, hey, I don't want the police to use any, don't come heavy-handed, because I want to lose that to vote. So these people will always hold us at ransom. It shouldn't be like that. You do what is right. You must not be on a popularity campaign all the time. Do what is right to protect these people, protect the people of this country. Some will get vexed with you. Some of your supporters will get vexed with you. Let them get vexed. If they want to vote for another party, let them vote for another party. But do what is right to protect the people of this country.
I agree with KB. Situations like that, you always have to think the greater good for the greater number. And that will bring me back, Dre, to the fact that when this thing, the epidemic, hit here and the government of the day wanted to go and pass some legislation, remember all the hollaball and the noise and the jump around, and the only thing they say how police could go on the computer and phone and things. That's the only thing people are checking about. They didn't check in about the government was putting something in place where they could manage this thing and cause the government and even by extension the police to act in times when they should. And everybody jump up and say about the Constitution because there are a lot of armchair constitutionalists in this place. They only know the Constitution when they are against something. When something is good, nobody quotes the Constitution. And if this government was a weak government, there was a lot of things they wouldn't have done. And they say the ends always justify the means. Look at all our neighbors around. They didn't take the action we took. So it must be something about the action taken. Because the statistics is there.
Andrew, what is the state of COVID in this country today? We missed that.
What is the state? You mean you want numbers?
Yes, what is our position?
That's not hard to get. It's right here. But I want us to, when we come out of looking at the state of the COVID in this country, I want us to take a quick look of Trinidad.
Yes.
Okay, let me give you, based on the world would have seen 176,599,142 persons contracting the virus. The world would have seen 3,816,546 deaths. 160,613,587 persons would have recovered. That's based on what the world would have seen. Let's look at Grenada. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Grenada is here. 161 total cases we've seen. 1 death. 160 persons recovered. Cases now 0.
Congrats.
Cases now 0. Let us look at Barbados, who is just a little bit to the east of us. And we'll find out that Barbados would have seen 4,036 cases. All right, in Barbados, they would have seen 47 deaths, 3,971 recovered, and they have 18 active cases at this time. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we stay in a little bit to the northeast, kinda. So we go into St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and what do we find here? Trying to find St. Vincent here. Where is it? Okay, there we go. St. Vincent and the Grenadines would have seen 2,147 cases. They would have had 12 deaths and 1,897 recovered. At present, based on the numbers here, St. Vincent would have 238 active cases.
A lot.
Active cases, with 2 of the cases being serious to critical. All right. Now, as we would have touched on St. Vincent, I picked up this morning through my sources that 4 gentlemen arrived from St. Vincent. And based on the information I picked up, seemed that they came through Wharf. The police or the authorities would have apprehended 2.
Miss Vinci?
No, they're Grenadians. The police would have apprehended 2. And as of around 11 o'clock thereabouts, they were still trying to find the other 2.
The next 2 in the public.
All right. I have been told that one of the 2 is from St. Patrick. I've been told that. I don't know who it is, but the person just told me that one of the 2. The person was not at liberty to give me a name, but the person told me that one of the 2 is from St. Patrick. So I just want to say to my patricians, brothers and sisters in St. Patrick, if you know of the person, it is the wise thing to do and ask that person to turn themselves into the authorities. You don't know if that person, because the fact that they came in from St. Vincent and they didn't come through the regular situation, you don't know what's the situation. So if you know of any of the 2, ask them to just, hey, turn yourself in. They'll get tested, they'll get charged, but they ain't gonna stay in jail forever. Just look at it that way, all right? We could end up in problems because of them, because we don't know their status, and we need to know their status. 4 of them. So they had 2. The police, based on the authorities, had 2 as of 10:30, 11 o'clock today. And they're still trying to find the other 2. And as I said to you, someone said to me that one of the 2 is from St. Patrick. I don't know which place in St. Patrick that person is from. All right. So I want us to look at Trinidad and Tobago. 28,422 cases. They would have had a total of 656 deaths. 18,431 would have recovered.
How much deaths is it? 600?
656. At present, they have 9,335 cases active, with 22 of them being
Critical.
serious to critical. But that's not the only thing. I have a friend in Trinidad, a lady, and between me and you, KB, I kind of like didn't hear from her for a while. But she always drops in and out, so I wasn't making anything of it. Until a mutual friend of ours said to me, your friend had COVID. I'm like, you must be joking. And he said, no, she did. So before I could call her that day, she called. And she could barely speak. So we had to end the conversation. Because she was recovering, she was home, they would have discharged her, negative tests and so on. But because of what the COVID did to her, I could barely hear her. So we had to leave it. I says, yo, when you believe that you can speak, that I could hear you, holla. She did. About a week later. And KB, when I listened to my friend, I was flabbergasted. She spent about 2 weeks in hospital. First question I said, well, where you pick that up? What was your story? And she said to me, herself and her daughter traveled one day to go somewhere. And by travel means that they went with the bus, public transport. They didn't drive. And both of them have vehicles there. And they decided traveling. I'm like, Lord have mercy. At this time in your life, you're going to do that? And she said, yes, they traveled. And a couple of days after, she started feeling different. So she went to the hospital. And Mount Hope, I think, yeah. And for the entire duration of her being in the hospital, she was under a tent. Under a tent. I'm telling folks this. That's where she was. And when she got there, she had to sit down because there was no bed or anything, or bunk bed or whatever, for her to use. So she had to sit down until a friend of a friend of a friend, do you understand how that thing is go? Organized and got her a bunk bed. She did not have the luxury of a place to have a shower. So how did she make it for the time she was there? Her children was sending her wet wipes. That is how she made it in there. Her children was sending her wet wipes and other stuff that she can use. That's how she made it in there. When she went to the toilet, 99% of the time, it was filled and she had to make do inside a day. There's no water to flush it. Right? In the portable toilet. In the tent. But the worst thing for her was the fact that under the tent, it was man and woman together. There was no situation, there was no curtains to block you. You under the tent. And man and woman together. Right, KB? And she said people would just be dying under the tent, and then somebody dies, somebody else come and take that space, and then she's just observing people dying under the tent. And she said also, well, okay, fine, I guess my turn is gonna come. Now, I'm not saying this to pull down our brothers and sisters in Trinidad.
I understand.
I am saying this so that people can get an appreciation of what the thing, of what the thing is. That is what happened in Trinidad. Do you understand? On that tent for 2 weeks, she said to me, one night, it rained. It rained one night. And that is one of those nights when she was still in the chair. She didn't get the bunk yet. So she had to cock up her foot on somebody else's thing, so her feet would not get wet. That is what has happened, with our brothers and sisters in Trinidad. And we are here playing with this thing. Do you understand? We are here ignoring what is happening in the rest of the world. Do you understand? And we are here criticizing Keith Mitchell and his government for the way they are treating with this thing. Just spoke to a young lady who came from Canada. And she said to me that when she left here to go to Canada, KB, and she had to get her PCR test, she went to Tongue this morning, and by this afternoon they sent her the results of the PCR test. In order to come back from Canada, it took her 2.5 days to get the results. And she ended that statement by saying, and they saying Keith Mitchell look good. That's what she said, eh? Yeah. Those are her words. And she has indicated to me that school is on and off. Okay. And you will get a message that says, you get a message now. What time is it? 3:30? Is that the time? Yeah. Is it? 3:30. No, 2:30. You will get a message now which says to you, there is school in the morning. By 4:30, you get a message saying there is no school in the morning. By 6 o'clock, you'll get a message saying there is school via social media. By 8 o'clock, you'll get a message saying, no, we're going to have school in person. You can have, she said to me, in a period of about 12 hours, you can have 9 different messages as it relates to school where she was. And she ended by saying that we're fighting for 4%. That's how she ended that one, eh? And we're fighting for 4%. In Canada, people don't even know if they're going to school. Do you understand? People are not understanding how fortunate we are. And we take this thing for a joke. You don't have to believe me. Reach out to your friends in Trinidad and Tobago. Reach out to your friends there and find out what is happening. The lines. The young lady said to me, when you're going to take the vaccine or make an appointment to take the vaccine, you can get a number that is 1,100 and something. That is your number. And you may not get may not be able to set it up today, and tomorrow when you do something to get that number again, based on the time you go, you can get number 2,000.
So much people lining up for it.
For the vaccine. The G7, understanding, the G7, remember the G7 summit that is taking place right now? The G7 people, they're saying that not enough people are taking the vaccine and the world is suffering as a result. We need to pay attention to what is happening, KB. We have it too good. I rest my case. I don't know if anybody has anything to say on that particular matter. Mr. Keaton?
Andre, you're so passionate. And definitely you listen to the PM too, calling the people of this country to take the vaccine. Because this country cannot remain locked down forever. We have to open it up sometimes in the future. But we need the cooperation of the public. We need the cooperation of every parliamentarian, every opposition party, every pastor, every priest, every leader in our community, every parent in the home. We need your cooperation. Take the vaccine. You cannot be protected if everyone is not protected. You have to. Yes, the point is that do make sense. Me and Messi take it, protecting ourselves, and we neighbors who take it, with children who take it, the wife who take it. All of us have to protect one another. And for the national good, you have to believe in the science. What the scientists say, there is time you have to ignore politician. Ignore politicians say, me taking up like it Michelle thing, like it Michelle agenda, yes, taking that. You ignore these people, do what the science says. You believe in the scientists. When you see, you don't buy a mason, you don't buy a carpenter, you go buy a doctor. You see. Either take serious medical opinion, or you take the opinion from politician, or you take it from man in the street, or you take it from. You can't take the advice from a mason or a carpenter. Take the advice from the scientists. That's why I really applaud the Prime Minister again. Continue to encourage the people of this country. Obey protocol. And take your vaccine. But Brother Dan just said, 2 people mysteriously just appear on our show. We cannot, block the whole country. We have porous border.
4
people just appear on our show.
And the thing is, not only appear, they come from a place where you have over 200 active cases.
200 active cases, and they come mingling in the population with the public.
That's how you see them.
Well, I know you don't know. If 2 of them catch it, and one in Sotes, one in Guave, it's trouble. It's trouble. You have that duty, that moral obligation to protect the people of this country. Protect yourself.
There's one thing here.
Just to say.
Yeah, go ahead. Go on.
The same set of people who clamor in, we want faith, we want activities, we want carnival, we want to go to cricket. There's a gateway for all that to happen by taking the vaccine.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not rocket science. You want to do what you claim you want to do. They say, hey, take the vaccine and it'll be a gateway to what you want to do. But you resist taking the vaccine, or however, you still want to reap the benefits of it.
Yeah.
To me, it's simple. You want carnival, you want cricket, you want to go in party, you want to have activities. Take the vaccine.
Take it.
And nobody will have to come with no theology or big speech to convince you. You want to have those things on them. Yeah. The gateway to it is taking the vaccine.
It's simple.
Let me just say, I just got a message here from someone. School in Canada is closed until September.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah? Closed. That's another part of Canada based on where the first person came from. Person is saying, we have it made in Grenada. By not taking the vax, they are stopping me from coming home. How? Air Canada does not have Grenada in its flying list as we speak. Why?
The percentage.
The amount of persons who have taken the vaccine.
Yeah.
So they know that, hey, somebody sent me a thing the other day and asked me, why is it that Grenada was not in the green zone in relation to flying to England? And that is the same thing.
Yeah.
You are not taking the vaccine. You may not have cases. But the people know if you're not taking the vaccine, hey, we could have a problem if we drop people there, and by the time we pick them up, you never know what can happen.
Yeah, but Dre, if you understand how the world works and how commerce works, the vaccine is something quintessential to all that, you know, KB.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you have a bicycle and you have the quarter pin, you can't go nowhere.
That's it.
The same thing will happen here. Now, whether we have philosophy on the vaccine or whatsoever it is, but to move forward, to get out of the situation in presently, the antidote is the vaccine.
Yeah.
It must.
There's a statement I'm going to read here that is on our social media, on our Facebook. And first, I want to explain to people that words, when used in a particular fashion, may be considered as being disrespectful. When used in other fashions, they are not disrespectful. Correct? Are we agreeing on that?
Yeah.
Good. Here's a statement by someone here on social media. The level of anti-vaccine jackassness I have heard for the short while being here is astounding. That's a big statement, because it's a set of foolishness that happening. It's a set of naysayers that they imagine, and I cannot understand this. You know, here's what's going on. You have a situation where KB, the scientists, the learned scientists, who tells you, okay, fine, this is the case with the vaccine. We need to take the vaccine. You not believe in them. You believe in some by the way people who ain't know nothing. They ain't no jack. I mean you. But you believe in them instead of believing. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Donald.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
And Mr. KV and Mr. The two ex-police officers.
Yes. Good afternoon, Miss Carmen.
Mr. Clayton and Mr. Thomas. Good afternoon. Yeah. Well, nice, Andrew. You have a full house today.
Yes.
Yeah, very good program. I want to say good morning, good afternoon to Pastor King. This morning he preached about sin. And the COVID is a sin. Because some of the people dying and all the kind of thing. Anyhow, good afternoon to you, sir. Mr. Donald and your panel, all your people there, I'm listening. The other one that came in today, you start to speak and you speak good. You start to hit the nail on the head with what's going on out here. We need you more often come here.
Carl Keaton, she needs you more.
Yes. We need you coming now on a Sunday too, to hit it up more.
Yes, sir.
Anyhow, I think it's KB or one of y'all that we talk about the incident that happened with the police officer that spoke so quick and short, because I made a call the morning. After he made a statement in the evening, the morning I called and I said, well, he should have waited still before he made that statement and investigate more. Because the day this guy thing happened in Central, the same evening he gave a statement. And to me, he did not investigate, get all the facts and everything, and find out from the police who was on duty after they left and a new set came in. So I think he made an error there. Because what the commissioner said in the thing he had yesterday, that he's going to investigate everything and he's going to let the public know. Because people start to speak when they heard the man say that. But how you could just say that already? How much time he had to investigate the whole situation? Where we leave that day? back on the vaccine. I take mine too. But there is people that telling you don't take it and they take this vaccine. Some of the haters, no serious. Some of the people are saying don't take that vaccine and they are on social media and they didn't go there having a meeting. You know they take the 2 vaccine already and they still fooling the people and tell them don't take it. There is one guy, I think he was the ex-police officer from Shandimel, he just preach. He's coming in town every day and make nice. Don't take the vaccine and this and that and the other. Eh? You understand? So I don't know. And first thing, they take it as it is a Chris Mitchell thing. Boy, all you go there. All you get sick. You ever want to say I was going on in Trinidad? All you get sick. It's not Chris Mitchell. He take you on and he's going to fight whatever thing in the body when this thing has to attack anybody. I take mine. Rasta takes you on. I don't listen to me Rasta friend are telling me all kind of thing. It's chip they put in the people's body. I take mine, I protect myself.
Earlier, take a chip, I go find you when I want you.
Yeah, you understand? I don't know. I don't understand these people.
Okay, love, take care.
You know, I call him back when I already get.
Of course you will call back. That is not a problem. You know that.
Yes,
We got you.
I have another thing to talk about.
Okay.
Yes,
Great.
the same people, anti-vaccinists, they head for them, they run to the pharmacy and they buy something. The same pharmaceutical companies what making. They drink, I just forgot. It behooves me, Andre, the reason they have for not taking. Like I tell a guy recently,
Go on, yeah.
If you don't want to take it, don't take it, but don't tell other people not to take it. Yeah. Because you yet to bring forth a reason why it should not be taken.
Panadol multi-symptom.
Yeah.
And other Panadol products.
Advil, Aleve.
No, I'm talking about that.
Panadol.
Panadol multi-symptom. You cannot find it on the shelf in North America.
But yeah.
You dey here, you taking it like crazy.
Yeah.
Anytime I do something, I feel like a fever, Panadol. Cool. Do you understand? Cool. Yeah, Panadol. Panadol multi-symptom. No, I don't know what they need.
But you feel good for you?
But you walk in, and it's working for a lot of people. Do you understand? It is not on the shelf, because when I went to New York, I went and looked for it in Walgreens. It is not there. And it's not that Walgreens didn't have it, you know. It's just that they don't have that available for people. They know why. I don't know why. But we're taking it.
Regular too?
So I'm saying this to say, as you were saying, Carl, we don't know what they're in a lot of things. We're taking them. We know what they're in Fensick. Eh? The good old Fensick. We know what they're in Fensick. We don't know. But before you head out, you grab 2 Fensick.
But Dre, one school of thought, like you just mentioned, of microchip and others, and they feel they want to do. But there's a lot of other avenues which people could use if it's that they want to do to us, and we readily accept it. Because most of our food we want to eat from them. Mm-hmm. So I don't really get, it use me. I spend a lot of time, but I stop thinking out why, But like what I was saying, the same set of people who wants all. They want party, they want juvie, they want carnival.
Everything.
But they're not taking the vaccine, and the vaccine is a gateway to them getting what they want. So it's like you asking for something when it's been given to you and they say you have to do that, you say no. But
when they give the requirements,
Andrew, we have a serious problem. Not only the vaccine alone. Yeah. There's a set of persons in this country who opposes everything. Whether good, bad, indifferent. They oppose the Moy Bishop International Airport. They oppose the referendum. They oppose the hotels, the bus terminus. Yeah. Everything. What these people oppose until they don't know what to oppose again. So the same set of people who say it's time for Dr. Mitchell to go, they had a golden opportunity to decide when he should go. They say no.
They say no in the referendum.
Yes, they say.
And he gave them the opportunity twice. Yeah, he gave them twice.
But not only that, the night when the referendum failed, they say, get me that keep me jail.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them how. One time you don't ask me, no. But say, look at your opportunity to decide when the man just go.
Yeah.
You don't take it.
Yeah.
You know you're crying foul. You're talking about level the playing field because money. But you know election is a money thing.
Yes.
It has not last week or last election. You start to talk about it.
Who are more oil fry, more babes?
So listen, these people want to inherit the country by default. They don't want to put in the hard work.
No.
They don't want to put structures in place.
No.
The 20,000 people they used to claim they speaking for, they say now the TGM whoever come to split it. But if you realize the TGM come to split it, put measures in place to cause that not to happen. Yeah. You blaming the Prime Minister and say he's teaming up with Mr. Antoine, so he sent Mr. Antoine to split the vote. But I don't think the Prime Minister needs the vote to split to win.
No.
So these people always blaming somebody else or making excuse. And until and unless the Ghanaian public don't really believe these people are them viable for alternative, the same thing will happen to these people.
Look on that screen there and read it for me, KB. Keaton. Read it loud, let people hear.
It's needed to be former leader of the NDC to task when you recommend the Panadol.
Yeah.
Don't worry. As we continue, there will be more.
But Andre, this particular program.
I love this one. Hold on before you go. This particular program, remember that. Here's this one. Nobody know what they in Viagra and they're taking it.
Yeah, and but during the school of thought about Viagra, the purpose most men here taking it for was a side effect of the real purpose.
Well, the purpose is to increase your blood flow. That's
and then something else, the side effect.
Yeah.
People start to speak about the side effects, so men forget how the heart taking it for the side effect.
And that is why it's killing them, because if you can't put the heart under so much stress. So that is what happening to them. Because they want the erection.
Yeah, so Jay, and for the democracy of Grenada, we need a viable alternative. So the opposition forces, somebody claim they should join up. It's not about joining up. Structures have to be put in place. People have to trust you.
Yeah.
The main problem the opposition having is Grenada, people don't trust them. But for some reason, they're blaming everybody else for their problems. So they call you all kind of names when you don't agree with them. They call Patrick, they say some old pose, a name they call people. And then tomorrow, you go to the same people and tell them, put us in things.
Yeah, vote for me.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm speaking about that, it is not really too good for the democracy. And there are persons who you claim the future bright. At the start of the program, you call some person's name and say the future bright.
No, I said they had a bright future. Had a bright future.
And they blew it.
I didn't say their future.
Because I wonder what a particular gentleman, a golden opportunity was given to him to better himself, build his capacity, and by extension the capacity of his organization, and by extension the capacity of the country. And he turned it down because they said they want to buy him over and so forth. And we have to move away from that politics trade. We have to agree to disagree on issues. And not calling people name and cursing out people. Because in every discussion, at the end of it, we should learn. And not who win. But some people always want to win at all costs, so demonizing you, calling you all kind of name, go make you afraid. Let me give a practical example. The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Bido, as he then was, is a difficult man to deal with initially. You go by him with something, he'll cost you. And if he catch you, you're free. But as you get past that, he's one of the easiest person to get along with.
He's one of the nicest persons I ever knew.
So,
Commissioner Bido.
persons might find I saying that about the opposition forces. I'm not happy that every time the thing go end up same damn thing 15.
No.
And even when the opportunity was given to them for them to have a voice based on the constitution, they say no to it.
We've got a caller. Good afternoon. Hello? Oh, lost it.
So, Dre.
What's up with electoral reform?
But they threw it away too?
Even that.
No, but them don't.
Even that. But Carl, exactly, this is a tool that we set at the beginning of the program. I smile. I really smile. Because here you have Terry Forrester leaving the NMP.
Yeah.
He went on the radio to say, hey, he gonna let the cat off his back. And you know the NMP never cost him, demonize him,
No.
him.
For what?
No. Do you know Patrick and Klein go from his own party? Do you know the NMP never cost him, humiliate him, or demonize him? No.
Yeah, but
and what I'm laughing about, the last general council, the NCL, you understand? They couldn't pay they couldn't pay the boss, you know. Patrick Antwan sponsored them to the tune of $20,000 to pay boss for that they had to work. $20,000 he paid boss for them, they had to work. Now they costing them money.
But Kevin, and they say, you hear what they're saying about him, he don't say nothing now, keep me check.
You want to cost keep me check.
So they say he don't say nothing. So like he had to come and be like a wajang, make conflict.
Be like them. Be like them.
Well,
He can't.
But the program,
He can't.
my point I was making is, that particular program, this program,
This one?
the amount of persons who is sympathetic to the opposition forces that listen to this program is amazing. Because it was meet me by drones and telling me how the program.
Oh, okay.
So your program reaching?
Well,
So at least we're not preaching to the converted only. You have some programs where you're preaching only to the converted.
But we're sarcastic and malicious.
Hear this. Somebody sent this one, Keaton Nelson. They said Pfizer made Viagra.
Yeah.
That gives men lift. So if they die from taking the vax, no need to fear. They'll be lifted from the dead.
And remember with every remedy, Andre, remedies for sick people are not for dead.
Not for dead.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I call back.
Yes, lady.
Yeah, Mr. Donald, I have a problem with the bus terminal. As an operator there, we haven't got the toilet. Up to this day, we have problem there, and I call and I speak about it. There is no place for us to urine, or if you want to eat yourself, Mr. Donald. And I'm calling again. I spoke to the media on Friday, and I'm calling again because tomorrow we have to go and open up to Bakery Dollar. I am calling again that Port Authority put a portable toilet so that we can use. When I go to the police station and I have to use, the police telling me that we can't be coming there all the time because it's a police station.
Correct.
Right? I ain't vexed with the man.
No?
Right? Port Authority put 2 toilets there so that we could get to use. I pay my rent on Friday and I had to hold my feet till I come home. And there's not treating we as tenants that good. It's not right to be treating us that way. We still have to pay $1 to use the toilet. And the toilet closed down. Rent 2 toilets from Wagiti and them and put it in the back so we could get to ease ourselves. We are all people that don't want to people feed themselves. Please, I'm begging again for that. All the years we there in that, and that order is close the terminal till you all get the problem solved. Close it down. They don't want to lose the money, but they're taking advantage and people are paying them money.
Right.
And it's not right.
Here's what, my dear. Here's what. you know I love you, right? And you know I always take care of your things. I promise you that something will be done within 24 hours.
I'll be very grateful.
Kami, you know you can trust me on that. If I tell you something will be done in 24 hours, something will be done in 24 hours, okay?
Yeah, and the next thing, nobody trusts Mr. Antoine. So if you're listening, son, you're online right now.
Which one?
The Grenadian people don't trust you. You don't get in a vote.
Which one? Patrick?
We know who we have.
Patrick?
The man, Patrick.
Okay.
We know what we have. We don't know how we get in. You understand?
Okay.
We know what we have. You don't get in a vote, you understand it.
Okay.
Take that from me.
All right, love.
Bye-bye.
Okay, good.
I just want to show out Mr. Maxwin Belfon.
Maxwin Belfon. He's
Oh,
listening.
Max,
Yeah, he's listening. He said he's your friend. He just sent me that message. He said he's your friend.
Okay,
All right. Hold on. Before you go to your white paper, I know you must go to your white paper. You know, I'll give you time to go to your white paper. Now, a gentleman, one of those who just come with the wrong names and the false names and all them things in them. Yeah. He sent a message as if trying to rejoice. I don't know what he's trying to do, but I'm going to read the message like I read some of the messages, not all, but I'm going to read the message. And the message says that Gerard Caddy Douglas was charged for grand larceny on Thursday. All right? Now, if you're trying to do so and link that because he's from St. Patrick's, I'm proud of him. Not proud of what he did to be charged in the US for that. Not proud of that. But as a person from St. Patrick's, I still respect him. Let me tell you that. But let me also tell you that that is one of your NDC supporters. So where you trying to do some true thing on us here in St. Patrick's, you're throwing it back in your own face, you know. That is your people, you know. Be very careful.
What, sure?
But you got in your own, he messing in your own car, look. You understand? Stop that stupid something now, man.
But Dre, if you have a pen full of pigs and you throw a stone in, you want to get hit as born.
Say that again, I didn't get one.
If you have a pen full of pigs and you throw a stone, you want to get hit as born.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So they cry not only but what is good?
It's good. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Kelly, good evening.
Hey, Mike. A long time we don't hear you, man.
Boy, a day. We there working hard.
Okay.
With we caretaker.
You get a caretaker?
Oh, what are you? I love my caretaker. The whole of Hermitage love me with caretaker.
God bless.
Yeah, Papa, God bless us.
Yes.
We deal with we caretaker. Working hard.
That's good.
So you know what's going on with us?
Yes.
What we hate, that's what we like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we deal with and we caretaker, head and head.
Okay, that's great. You know, I was wondering last week why nobody did not call and, you know, congratulate the caretaker.
I congratulate my caretaker.
At least, you know, that is what you have. You make use of it.
You have to, yeah, man.
You know,
and one thing with him, he working hard, eh?
Okay, NNP is NNP, you know, and I wonder well because I still look. You still have an MP. You still have an MP in St. Patrick's West End. That is Mr. Anthony Bosom. You know, and people will still go to Anthony Bosom. And he's the caretaker.
What do you mean people will still go to Anthony Bosom? What do you mean?
He's the parliamentary representative.
Well, then don't say people will still go to him. People have to go to him because he's their parliamentary representative. I'm just telling you.
And Andre, allow me to make my statement.
Yeah, but you make it.
Because he's the MP for St. Patrick's.
So, but people have to go to him.
Allow me to make my statement and you will comment after.
Yes, so we
go ahead.
deal with we caretaker. We're working hard with him.
You have a caretaker, right? And you have a parliamentary representative, Mr. Anthony Bosom. He is the parliamentary representative for everybody in that constituency. You, the caretaker, in my opinion, the caretaker don't have much teeth to bite. Because right now he cannot help anybody. right? He's just the caretaker. But you want that man to appear to be significant in that constituency. You want to do a respect for him. So we need to raise his profile, you know. So I was suggesting, in my opinion, he should be made a senator and give him a government job and also an office, because he cannot go and sit in the parliamentary office. He do already. That is Mr. Bosson's office. That is only for parliament. Parliamentary, for the people who represent you. So you need to raise Bello profile, make him look good. And the people in St. Patrick West, you cannot just sit back and don't say nothing. Call and compliment him. Offer him your support. Because
Kennedy, that's my real support, trust me.
Yes, but not you alone. We need more people to call and salute him
and
give him support, because you go into election where you want to win big.
All right,
the
so
Prime Minister said this is the last election. You want to give me best send-off?
Later.
Yes, thank you. You want to give me best send-off? You want him win big, but you cannot have someone like Bello going around doing house to house, and he cannot help anyone. In the UK, if he cannot help anyone, raise his profile, make him look important, raise his status. That's my point. And call people in St. Patrick West, call and offer your support to Bello.
Okay, can I say something?
You go ahead.
Okay, good. First, if you make him a senator, then, contrary to what you just said, he has all right in the office down there, because he's a senator. Contrary to what you just said. All right? Because the office is a parliamentary office, and senatorship falls right under that umbrella. So, if you make him a senator, you don't have to give him another office. Secondly, he is the caretaker for the constituency. There is nothing that says that the caretaker you putting pressure on him, because there's nothing that says that a caretaker has to deliver anything to anybody. That caretaker must be working along with. If there is a parliamentary representative, the caretaker works along with the parliamentary representative. The caretaker will go out and organize different groups and whatever in the constituency, the PD groups, and make sure that they're working and make sure that the machinery is oiled. Right? When there is something that comes up that the parliamentary representative knows about and something that they can do, he now embraces the caretaker and say, hey, come with me. Let the people see that you are for the progress that is taking place. So when you call for these things, Mr. Budlal, you are putting pressure on the gentleman. He does not have to deliver anything at this time. Carl Caton was a caretaker. He did not have to deliver. What he had to do was to spend the time going about in the constituency and lifting up little children and hugging little old ladies and smiling. That is what has to happen. You have it all wrong. Again, I continue to say your political infancy startles me at a lot of times. But you don't have to. You don't have to.
As he go around,
you don't have
people
to.
will make requests. He doing house to house now. As he go around, people have to make requests. He either turn them on to Mr. Bosson, or he go along, Mr. Bosson walk along with him. I have everything.
They must work hand in hand.
But people will make requests as he go along.
But they can't expect him to give anything now.
No matter where he go.
Where does he get the money to do anything?
People make requests as he go along, not from his.
Well, he works with Anthony Boson. So when you make the request, KB, no, I have to stop you in your political infancy. When they make the request, Anthony Boson based on the request, has to do so and help him to do so and achieve. You cannot expect him to hush and listen while I'm talking to you. You cannot expect him to be there to do things. He can't do anything at this time. He is a caretaker. He is taking care of the constituency, not for the government, but he's taking care of the constituency for the party. Right? So he has to go out into the field so that people can get to know him, people can get to understand him, and people know exactly who they're going to vote for and what are the benefits that they would expect to come from him, whether or not he's a candidate who likes football, he's a candidate who likes table tennis, he's a candidate who likes to go hiking. These are the things that they should get to know about him, as he is the caretaker. You can't put the burden of the constituency. Mr. Caton, you wanted to say something?
You're speaking in terms of the letter. What's all the spirit? Dre, the spirit.
Spirit of?
The same issue. What you outline is the letter of what a caretaker should be. However, in this dispensation, the caretaker has to convince people that he or she could do things for the greater good or the greater number.
Have the potential.
So the incumbent has to give the caretaker teeth to bite teeth. And you have something that is happening in greater politics about transition. Because if the present person is at the end, if the parliamentary day is done and the next one intend to start, a lot of the incumbent does not show or embrace the new person, and all be something frictional. It's like sometimes the incumbent feel the time no reach yet, and he just come across like sour grapes, like push out. So you have to have something you listening.
But no, I think that Anthony Boson appreciates. Let me finish. I think that Anthony Boson appreciates the situation, and he has embraced it in that folks know that he has decided that he's not going to be running again, and he has accepted the fact that there is somebody as a caretaker. So I expect both of them to be working together.
However, based on the timing, and we know the parliamentary system 5 years, we know how much years already passed. He has to make sure all structures, as you rightly say, are in place. Because it would be easier for his running of his campaign when all structures are in place. However, he would not be on, when the campaign really begins, speaking only to the converted, the NNP. He has to show, or people has to believe, that he could deliver as much as what the incumbent has.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that he has to be a senator. And that is what you see, again, what you're saying is correct. But I'm saying to you, I'm saying to KB, you're putting too much pressure on the young man.
That is not true.
Well, let me ask you this, why not a senator?
I am not saying...
No, we haven't answered.
Well, yes, I'm answering you. I'm not saying he should not be made a senator. I am saying to you, when you ask for all these things to happen now, you are putting pressure on the gentleman. He is the caretaker. Unless, if we are not going to stick to what the letter of the word caretaker, if you're not going to stick to it, then of course, fine, change it and call it something else. Call it something else then. I believe that the parliamentary representative has to have the caretaker with him.
Yes.
And that is how the caretaker gets his clout.
Yes.
I don't, you see, because what's going to happen, if we do so and we make him a senator, which would be a good thing, yeah? Make him a senator, and he's gone this way, doing this, and the parliamentary representative gone this way, when they should be working in unison because they belong to the same party.
I agree that last point, however, that last point go take me to a bigger point I was making now. A lot of people speak, and just before the present Prime Minister announced that he will run for another term, there was this agenda pushing, calling people names who would take over in the party and trying to fractionalize. And the Prime Minister in his wisdom and I applaud him for coming out and saying, I run in again, so he shut down all this thing. However, I applaud the Prime Minister in the sense that to do the same thing you're saying, not to anoint any person. And I guess it's the same thing you say, if you anoint the caretaker, you might take a 10 you go freely.
No, I never said not to anoint the caretaker. I never said that.
I speak in here now, you can only see what you don't say.
No, I'm saying I never said do not anoint the. I believe that the caretaker and the parliamentary representative need to work hand in hand. But right, that is what I'm saying. I am not saying don't anoint him.
Are you satisfied that is being done?
I have not been following, so I can't tell you that.
KB, based on what I'm picking up, are you satisfied?
I don't know. I just get the feeling because I don't
see.
I don't even know I've never met
the gentleman.
Bello. Yeah. I've never met Bello, but I'll be engaging people and find out what's going on. You understand? Because I'm a political activist, I want to know. Here you have a new NNP candidate coming on the scene, and I get the impression that he have no teeth to bite. So I was suggesting, in my opinion, raise his profile, make him look significant, put him as a senator and bring him into the government. You just can't have him there just going around like a simple, ordinary person, and he cannot deliver anything because still the representative is Mr. Boson. He is the parliamentary representative. He cannot go into the office because the office is for the parliamentary representative. You might have to find a special office for him. But he must have some teeth to bite because you going out, there is no doubt people will make requests. You understand? You're going to do political work, people will make requests. You have to appear to have teeth to bite to deliver certain things. I understand you have the local politics. But Andrew, let me tell you something. I find you get worked up and get emotional on the issue.
No. No, I am not going to listen when you are going to paint a wrong picture of me. I didn't get worked up. I stated facts to counteract what you said. Don't even go there. I am not going to accept that. I am not going to accept you going there. Four of us here. Four. If you believe it's true, I can make it 3.
You are the only person is the open that you didn't get worked up and emotional. Everybody here will feel you get worked up and emotional.
Ask them. Look at them right there.
Well, they answer.
Yeah. Look at them there.
And they answer.
You ask them.
Ask them.
You go up on a high one.
Of course, yes.
But I am saying to you that this does not necessarily need to happen.
Yes.
The fact that the young man is the caretaker, he's been accepted as the caretaker in the constituency. All right? Therefore, he has to now do the work in the constituency. When you're accepted as caretaker, it does not mean automatically you have to be deuced and made a senator. The reason why you are being made the caretaker is for you to do so and get your political machinery in place. If you are made a senator, you may forget, Carl Caton, that you have political machinery to put in place. You may forget that you have to go and work with the lady who just called in from Hermitage. You may forget that you have to go in Darby because as senator, you may be responsible for a ministry or be a deputy in a ministry, which would mean that you have to attend official things, and you can forget that. So the best thing for him is to be the caretaker in the true sense of the word, deal with the people, find out what the people need, liaise with his parliamentary representative who supports him 100%, Liaise with your parliamentary representative. Say, hey, we probably need to do so and have a 2-cross culvert bill there. What do you think? You think you can speak to somebody so that we can get, because this is what the people in that particular area are asking for at this time. If they get it, he is the one who will get the credit because they requested it from him. Okay. You don't have to make him a senator to do that.
But here, well, listen, if he's been made a senator, and he cannot perform the role too, there are reasons for him not to be represented.
But you see, and okay, and then you put pressure on him, eh? Because if he was made a senator, and as you say, he can't do so and handle the role as senator, then you put pressure on him.
Yeah, but test him now.
So,
but that present situation, what I'm picking up from personally is that the present parliamentary representative is letting go all that thing for him.
The what?
He's letting go a lot for him. He's giving him.
You know that?
Yeah, well, based on persons close to the situation.
Well, exactly what I'm saying.
As a matter of fact, they say last Christmas when other things happened with the parliamentary representative, usually he allow him to do it.
So there you go.
However,
they work close.
They're working close together, and that is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But Tracy, that is part of that particular constituency. There's also this notion that the other persons who was vying for the position, all is not well.
When you say all is not well, what does that mean?
I don't think they're speaking.
Who not speaking?
Well, there was this. What the other person? There was Mr. Glean.
There's Glean, there was Bihari, and there was Frederick.
But I think he and Mr. Frederick, what the person was suggesting that he should be the bigger man and try to bridge the gap with them.
He and Mr. Frederick not speaking?
That what they were saying, like.
But that cannot be true when there was a basketball competition. No. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying now. You said that they're not speaking. And I'm saying to you, it cannot be true when there are pictures that I saw on social media with himself and Mr. Maybe less than a month ago?
But around the same time I heard that, because what they were saying, Mr. Frederick was still going around in certain areas.
Based on what? But I'm saying this to you, based on what? When you are elected or still elected, because it's an election process to get you as caretaker.
Elected.
Right? You have to be elected. However, the persons, if there are 1 or 2 or 3 other persons who did not get ascension to that throne, it does not mean that they have to stop work. There's nothing that says that they have to stop work.
Well, there's nothing that
what it says is that they must continue to work along with.
Yes, not
right. Easy. I'm saying to you what it says. You could speak afterwards, brethren. Right? It says that they have to work along with, or he has to work with them, or they work with him for the greater good of the party, so that if there is a problem and that person cannot go forward, then you have from this 3, as with this situation, to pick a person. So you can go ahead and work. You can visit polling divisions. It is entirely up to the people in the polling division. If they want to reason with you, to talk to you, nobody can stop you from doing it. If you believe in the greater good of the party, you may decide, okay, fine, I'm not going to do anything unless Philip is there. But if you decide you want to go off and do it on your own, nobody can stop you.
Nobody can stop it, but it shouldn't be divisive.
But I just said that.
The agenda should not be different.
I just said that.
Listen to me. You know,
I am listening to you.
My words.
I just said that you should not work without the gentleman. But if you choose to, no one can stop you. I just said that. So don't coin it in a different language. Don't couch it and bring it back, because I just said that. Understand that that is what I said.
Andre, a particular gentleman.
Somebody's calling. We take you call. Let's finish your statement, then we get a call.
Gentleman who both individual spoke to
Mm-hmm.
that told me that.
He could claim that.
No,
He could claim
that's
that.
something I can speak on the air here.
That's up to you, bro. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. What's I've been waiting a long time. Yes, I've been listening to you, gentlemen. I must say good afternoon to you, host. And I've been listening to the discussions back and forth, the different views, different opinions. But I just want to start off by saying that government doesn't win elections, you know. It's political party that wins elections. And somebody has to make the caretaker, that's Bello, a senator, and we might have different views, different opinion on that. But I do not see in any way how that might be putting pressure on the caretaker. And also, I heard Mr. Donald saying that the caretaker is not expected to give anything to anybody. Maybe that may be so. I mean, it's quite easy to say that, but just imagine a caretaker going out there, canvassing, right? Meeting. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Hello, I'm sorry about it.
Everyone, boss man.
Hello. I'm sorry about that. The cell phone rang while I was. Just take that away from me. Yeah, and so on. So when the caretaker, and I've been on the ground with the caretaker from day one. I've been going around with him all along, and he has been speaking to the people. He has been feeling the pulse of the people. And it's one thing to say he's not expected to give anything, but it's the demand and it's the request that people make of him. Imagine you're going around as a caretaker, and no doubt he is the one who is going to succeed Mr. Boson, right? And I would say the to-be candidate, and you're going around and people telling you of different things. People telling you that they are not satisfied with some things, the way things have been run. And if all you could do is to listen to them and not be able to influence or change the things that they are not happy about, then it doesn't make sense. So I believe that the caretaker should be empowered. He should be given certain authority to do certain things. He should be able to bring about the change that people are saying they need. And he's promising that, if we work together, we could bring about that change. So if from now on, I've started my journey from now on, and up to election time, people have not seen any change in terms of what they're asking for, what they hope to see, then what are you saying to me? But I do not see he becoming a senator, Bello, Mr. Philip becoming a senator, putting pressure on him in any way. And another is one thing to say that the caretaker and the parliamentary representative should be working closely. Maybe that should be the case. But remember, it's the parliamentary office and the caretaker. So more or less the caretaker is the caretaker for a political party, for the NNP, for a political party. So if we're talking about separating the powers there, because we usually talk about that. But in short, what I'm saying is that the caretaker should be empowered. I am already with the caretaker. I know. I've been feeling the pulse of the people, just like he is feeling. And many times, or most of the time, he himself would give me the opportunity. So we engage the people. We engage the people in a very serious way. Up to yesterday, up to late, we were at Montreach. And I must say, the feedback was good. It was mixed. But overall, I would say that the feedback was good. He has shared his vision, but of course, he's asking them, how could we work together to bring about the change that we want to see, right? And so on. So that is the kind of thing that should be happening.
I want to say something here.
Yeah.
And I think that this needs to be shared. This needs to be shared. What we are doing, and what is coming out of this is that we're giving the impression that the gentleman is not empowered.
Is that it?
I said we are giving the impression that the gentleman is not empowered. And we're giving the impression that the only how he can be empowered is if he becomes a senator. And I don't believe that. That is what I have been saying. That's the only thing. Hold on, let me finish, brethren.
Yeah, I think you have it wrong.
Brethren, let me finish.
Yeah, finish, but I think you have it wrong. Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Finish.
You go ahead.
No, you finish. So, because I know, I'm not speaking from DC, I'm speaking from knowing, I am speaking from knowing, right? And so on. So I am saying he should be empowered. I'm not saying he's not empowered to some extent, but empowered through where? By whom? If you understand the point. I don't want to go beyond that in terms of explaining. Yeah, he's empowered to some extent, but by whom? And so on. So so we have to be careful about that. But we have to understand the politics. I'm afraid that sometimes we do not really understand the politics. Sometimes we like the politics, we think we understand the politics, but we don't really understand the politics. You can tell me a caretaker, and we're talking serious politics now. A caretaker cannot be going around meeting the people, canvassing, because that's what we are doing. And people are making requests, and we are seeing before our very eyes the needs of people, and people are crying out and they're asking for help. So I'm saying that person should be in a position to help in a concrete way. You wouldn't be able to meet everybody's needs. You wouldn't be able to help everybody, because we have, I don't want to say promise, but after looking at some people's dire situation, difficult situations, living conditions, I mean, you have to give some commitment, or at least say, listen, I'm going to see how outside of whatever we might be able to get some help for you. But because you have to give people hope, and people want to see a difference. So if from now you are showing that you could make a difference, this is what people want. This is what is going to give you the edge. I have no doubt that the gentleman, I've been associated with him all along, and his vision, and not just his vision, as I told him, and he agrees that, listen, you have to say to the people, what can we do together? How can we change things, bring about the change that we want to see together? It's not too often in the past people have been looking towards politicians or other people to do everything for them. Sometimes some things we can do for ourselves, but yet we're depending on others to do for us. But we are saying, let us see how we can work together to achieve, to make Grenada a better place, to make Grenada the place that we really want to see it be, especially St. Patrick's. And let's face it, St. Patrick's, both East and West, has been disadvantaged over the many years, over the many elections. Let's be real here. So people are asking for a different type of representation, a different quality of representation, a representation with a difference, representation with a difference. That's what people are asking for. That's what people are asking for. Representation with a difference.
Excuse me, hello.
Yes?
Let me tell you something.
Yes, tell me, I'm listening.
If you want a monologue, then when you call, you must say, hey, monologue. But you cannot be there and you're hearing the gentleman trying to interject, and you're not going to give him a chance.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
All right?
I did not hear the interjection.
Yes, he tried to interject. Listen.
No, but you accusing me falsely. I did not hear somebody wanted to interject, so don't accuse me. Please don't accuse me falsely.
What a fuck?
No, please do not accuse me falsely. I did not hear the interjection. I would wait and listen.
No, we have so much serious issues to address. This pettiness, therefore, you say representation with a difference. But when you say that you indicting the former representative, so you have to be. I'm just telling you. It sounds at least what you don't want to hear.
Okay, go on.
It sounds as the former representative was not represented properly, like I said, with a difference. And also, one must guard against making unrealistic promises. Too often persons make unrealistic promises. You don't want to end up in a situation where you would promise things you cannot deliver at your present capacity. Now I understand what KB said. You empower people, but there is nothing infinite about empowering the caretaker. So the caretaker can just go off the mill and just willy-nilly saying he will do all these things.
Hold on. But you got that impression from my utterances, and in terms of you see an indictment on the present hold on, the present MP. He's not an ident. I'm speaking from from the feedback from the people, You
didn't say that.
I am speaking from the feedback from the people,
You should say that's the feedback from the people.
I should. So didn't I say that? Come on. Did I say that up front? I know I said this up front based on the feedback from the people.
You don't have that same attitude with them.
I didn't get that.
The same thing you're doing here with us, I hope you don't have that with the people around there.
What is that?
The same way you relating to us here.
Yeah.
When you're out in the field, not so you're relating to the people.
Hey, call him. Do you call him?
But you're being very combative with us.
But I'm a canvasser, I know how to meet the people. What do you call?
What? Let me tell you something.
I know how to meet the people. I know how to meet the people.
At the end of the day, just do a diligent.
No, you see, because you are just
hold on. Let me just say something. Hold on. Both
me.
of you all cannot speak at the same time. You know, one has to speak and the other listen. Both of y'all can't speak at the same time.
Yeah, it's good to teach manners, Andrew, but I'm afraid that you don't always. But yes, I'm listening. Yeah.
So are you satisfied where you and the caretaker is present in terms of getting things in place?
Hello?
Are you satisfied that you say you've been out with the caretaker? Are you satisfied at this juncture that things are going in the way you want it to go?
Yes, I'm listening, yeah. Well, thanks for the compliment, yes. Yeah.
You hear the question?
Hello?
Did you hear the question?
Hello?
Hello, did you hear the question?
Yeah, no, I heard the intervention, I heard.
You heard what he said?
Yeah, I heard what you say.
Did you satisfy the way things going?
On the ground? Yes. As I say, the feedback is mixed, but overall, if I'm to evaluate overall, it's good. The response is pleasant, It's favorable, I should say, favorable. Yeah, I am satisfied because the approach, because it's not just he and I, it's a team of us, right? That go about, and there are some persons there with expertise and so on. So I am satisfied that the approach is the right approach. And what I said, I don't want you to get me wrong, because you said it's an indictment. I didn't mean in any way to indict the present MP. What I'm saying, based on the feedback from the people, I was just speaking from the feedback.
So what kind of feedback you getting from the Mount Craven area?
The Mount Craven area up here?
Yeah.
Well, here we know that there was a problem. There was one time when our support group here, for example, and I'm speaking direct politics here now, that we had agreed to endorse the present caretaker, and for some reason one or two persons decided to renege on the decision, and so on and so forth. But in terms of the feedback on the ground, it was good. It was good.
Because you have some persons in the Mount Craven area you should get back in the fold.
Well, let me say this, Carl, and that's a very good thing.
No, I want you to answer me. You need to do that.
No. Well, listen. Well, let me just get around it to answer. Listen, I am the one who often say to the caretaker, and I say to all my colleagues all the time, politics is one race that only has one position first. There is no second or third or anything like that. So we would attempt to bring everybody on board, to keep everybody that we had, and to cover new grounds. That should be the objective. It shouldn't be different. It can be otherwise. We are not going to leave out anybody. We are going to make every effort to make sure that the few who would have maybe, I don't want to say left the fold, but who for some reason or the other, we don't see directly eyes to eyes at this point in time. We are going to make efforts. We are going to make.
In recent times who have reneged, you need to reach out to them and don't isolate them.
No. Well, listen. We started the process. For example,
Politics, you're speaking pure politics here now.
Well, listen.
You need
Carl,
to reach them and bring them back in the fold.
Carl,
and don't make excuses.
Carl, one of the persons that has been very influential over the years in the politics with the NMP. I mean, she was kicking smoke. She was spitting fire like a dragon. And 2 Saturdays back, we approached her. I mean, and we had to face it. But that is how it is. We had to face it, But that's how it is. But at the end of the day, I think we would have achieved something, right? We are not totally there yet, but we have set up a meeting.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks a lot. And Mr. Donald, thanks for the opportunity. Nevertheless, thank you for the opportunity. Thanks. All right. Bye. Yeah.
You could know sometimes the level of maturity in people, and somehow I didn't like the tone, but I always say sometimes we have to get comfortable discussing uncomfortable things. You may be comfortable to discuss a topic, but we have to get comfortable discussing uncomfortable things. It's not easy for me to get worked up and get emotional, in certain case, but.
You have a caller? Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Sorry, I was going into a little jungle there. But let me say that I thought what Andre is saying is the total correct thing. But the other areas that you all are looking at can play out too. But we have to understand Let us suppose that you have a situation where you have 3 persons who come in as caretakers. Are you going to make the 3 persons senators? You have to look at it from that angle too, because you can have other persons who will be coming in as caretakers who have not run yet and coming in as caretakers. So it could be a jumble of things. What Andrew is saying is that the caretaker have to be working along with the parliamentary representative and not so think of making the person caretaker and making them senator. What has to happen is all the programs that the government have to be done within the constituency, the caretaker and the parliamentary representative should work hand in hand to get these projects up and to see them off. Right? And the caretaker have to able, as the gentleman just said, be able to care himself. That's what he's there for. Caretaker, care himself towards the constituency. Right? Make himself accountable in there, and then you need the present parliamentary representative to really work hand with him. But it's kind of difficult to say. I agree and understand that the person needs some power, but it might be difficult to say because he's caretaker, you make him a senator, because you could end up in a situation where you have more than one caretakers coming in, and then how you go to, if you empower one, the other one might say, okay, why didn't make that one? The same thing would happen in Goa with the NDC, if you remember. Mr. Tillman Thomas had to fire a senator to make Vincent a senator because he wanted Vincent to run in Goa when Mr. Church was down, and he had also to empower Mr. Vincent. And if you remember, he had fired or take out this lady, the doctor in Sutter's, what's his name again, right? And then the same thing happened with Ali Gill too. If you remember, he had also demoted Ali Gill when he tell Ali Gill that he's going to be responsible for marathon boundaries and whatnot, and nothing come out. So it could be a difficult thing. What has to happen is that when you become caretaker, you have to be prepared to do the constituency work, the political constituency work, not so much the government work, the constituency work. Be able to capture your people in the constituency. And based on what the gentleman said just now, it seems to me that that's what is happening. Let us hope it is happening, and once you get the cooperation from Mr. Boson, I think things should be on good.
Now, let me let you know this, Clifford, before you go on, as you make that point that once he gets the cooperation from Mr. Boson, there's absolutely no doubt that he will, and he has the support of Mr. Boson. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And that is what folks have to understand, and it is the base on which I make my point, that if himself and the parliamentary representative are so close and they're so good, and we know that they're close and good, then I don't see the need to make him a senator. He has to work with Mr. Boson, and he should work with him so as to achieve the goal, which is to win the seat again for the new National Party at the next elections.
Well, I second what you say, because I am myself have spoken to the gentleman, and he told me that he's getting very good cooperation from Mr. Boson.
There you go. Need I say more? I don't think I need to. He told me that in person, because we are good friends. So right. That's why I emphasize that once he gets in, and that is what had to happen. When somebody taking over, and what Mr. Boson did is really human service, because he did say early on that he's not going to be running again, and he kept to that. So he didn't put nobody in situation where they're wondering. He said when the time come, he's going to announce it, and we knew that there was an election there for the caretaker. So Mr. Boson did the right thing. That's what it had to be. All right, man. Thanks. Great. It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. 18 minutes on the upswing to the 4 o'clock hour. Real FM Radio, Andre Donald, Kennedy, Jack Budlau, Richard Thomas, Carl Caton, on a nice looking Sunday afternoon. Good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
Afternoon again, sir. Andre, before the caller who took along to spoke for a long time came on, I was trying to get you. And to say this, basically the same thing Mr. Bridgman come and say. That you are more right than anybody in dealing with that subject matter. Strategically speaking, that's the way to go about it. In the country, you have the NDC caretakers doing all the humanitarian work too, and you have other parties doing the same thing. Other political parties and even individuals who are aspiring to be politicians. They do the same kind of thing. You don't have to be in government to have promises fulfilled to these people and them. Because the thing is that he is representing the party, the NNP party, as the caretaker. He doesn't have anything to do with government in dealing with the issue. So let him get fulfillment through the party. Simple. Take care, sir.
All right, one love.
Before we move on, there is something else at this. When Kami had made that statement about it, they still have to pay that $1 to use the toilet in Grenville.
You're switching topics.
No, I just want. I hadn't noted that.
No, but that means once we do something, we accommodate that. That means we put that aside. Eh?
I just make it a comment.
No, we're not going back to that one. Once you make that comment, we on that and other things.
But just allow me to make.
Well, yeah, that's what I'll tell you. Yeah. Okay, good.
What I'm saying is that every, person who has booth, do business with us in the Grenville market, they have access to the toilet free. You don't have to pay the money. I'm surprised that they have to pay some charges. Yeah. That's all. That's my comment.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Donald, I want to give you a number to give Mr. Comsey for me, please, sir. So you could take a pen and write down for me, please. How to get in touch with him? 414-4057, Mr. Comsey. Thank you.
Okay,
you get
got
the number,
you.
Sir?
Yes, 4057.
414-4057. And I want this man to go and help them. Mr. Carl, you are a very good speaker. I would like you to come and help the caretaker in Sotes to go him on Craven and to help him for me, please. You will convince a lot of people. Thank you. I'm begging you, sir. Mr. Carl, I'm begging you, don't send me.
Well, you humble someone to do what is required.
Yes. Yeah, I want you to help him. Help him for me, please. Yeah. And you'll win big in Sotes. I know that. You'll win that seat up there. Bye-bye. Have a good evening.
Drake, the person she asked you to give the number and then relate it to the caretaker.
That's it. I just sent it off to someone so that the person can, because I may not see him today. So I sent it to someone so that person can pass it on to the son, and the son can give it to the father. It's the best I could have done, because I may not see him today. There's somebody on the WhatsApp line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Mr. KB and Messi.
Hello.
My daughter got the COVID in Trinidad. Please want to talk to you. And most likely my son must be having it now. He's in Tobago.
So give them my number.
You want to speak now or later on?
Messi, that is Auntie Lauren.
Yes, but what you could do, just let it call me on my phone, right?
Yeah?
Yeah. So after the program, they can call me.
After,
yeah.
I have your phone number. After the program, call you?
Yeah.
What do you want to speak now?
All right, darling. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. Nice, yeah.
But the whole COVID thing in Trinidad, I have vested in trees down there. My mom lives in Trinidad.
Wow.
I have aunts in Trinidad.
Hold on. How's mom?
She's okay. We speak every day.
Okay.
My sister, I have a young nephew. All of this thing riding. This is the thing that's on me on edge, and every time I get a phone call from my mom.
You get frightened?
She has to convince me everything is alright for me to settle in. Well, all for now everything is okay. But I've been praying.
Before you move, that Shambo project.
Yeah.
What is the latest of it?
No, the Shambo project is not an easy project to manage. What we're doing presently, I'm on a committee. we bring in water from the Montfendu River through Shambo, the basin, up to Southern Sweden for the people who mining animals, the cow people.
Okay.
We run lines from the river to Shambo presently, and now I start to come and complete the lines to Southern Sweden. Now, we have written to some donor agencies who has promised us, well, they give us a pump, and because most people support green initiative now, so they give us our 50-something solar panels, so the pump will be using solar energy, and it has some light manufacturing in there together with the place where they go do plants and so on to sell and so forth. The intention, the government has allocated 5 acres of land to give to single mothers and other people so they could do some planting of some farming, seasoning and other things, and value-added manufacturing them already, so they could use the solar energy. But the thing about it, government does not own the whole Shambo estate. They are now in discussion with the holders as to some arrangement, because the holders have been owing some taxes and so forth. So something, but there's a challenge with the irrigation, because for the irrigation to be properly dealt with, you have to create boundaries and so on. And persons might say that I might be area without even no documentation. They say my father used to work there a long time. So some discussion was held with the Ministry of Agriculture, so they should come and have some discussion with farmers. Because to do the irrigation thing right, you must have it done right. It don't make sense if you're going to do it haphazard and then boundaries and things. Because one of the things they want to do, there were some roads there before. They want to re-establish all the roads. There are some roads there. But in terms of ownership of the land, persons who have ownership. So we want to advise the persons farming there, both animal and vegetable farmers, to form themselves into a corporation, because a lot of them too don't have farmers ID, because if you don't have claim to the land, getting a farmer's ID is not something that could happen.
All right. If I may say something on that, yeah, Carl. To begin with, I believe that the first thing that has to happen is a management team has to be set up so as to manage what happens in Shambo.
Yeah.
Shambo has to be a place that is, it has to turn out that when you look at it, you can see controlled agriculture. It cannot be a situation which I've heard is happening now. The information don't have to be correct.
Yeah.
Where people are moving in, which is what you just said too. People are moving in and say, okay, fine, dime me peace and dime me peace.
Yeah.
No. I believe that what should happen is simply this. The government has to realize how much land is available,
yeah,
and how much land they are in a position at this time to irrigate.
Yes.
And it has to be, okay, we are going to, for every farmer who is there, based on the amount of land and based on what that farmer is doing, you get an acre,
yeah,
you get a half an acre based on what you do.
I agree.
Right? And you set that up in such a way, and you have strict rules and regulations. You have also the clause inside of it. So if you're in working the land and everything, and it is not being done over a period of time,
Yeah.
it's taken away from you.
Yeah.
Because at present, you said it, no one has title to the land. Right? So that has to be done before the first person, or put it this way, before the first cabbage get one drop of water. That has to be done, or else it go have problems. You understand? The other thing is, you said it, and I did an interview with somebody from the Ministry of Agriculture, and when you talk about the IDs, and you talk about, oh, they need to form themselves into a cooperative to do so and get the IDs. Keaton, that, it making no sense. What has to happen? These people have to be given what I may probably call provisional IDs.
Yeah.
And when you see ID, you must know that this person farms in Shambo.
That's why.
Right? And therefore they have a provisional ID, and it may even state on their ID what they grow in Shambo. So this thing about they can get ID, listen, the same person who issuing the ID is the same person who have control of the land, you know.
Yeah.
So that ain't making sense. I honestly believe that it is time, Keaton, to put that serious management team in place to handle Shambo. Otherwise, Shambo and the rest of and you speak of Savannah, Swayze and whatever, it doesn't belong to anybody, quote unquote, if you understand what I'm saying. Let us do it now. And it falls squarely at the foot of the representative. What she does now makes or breaks her. And she has to move in and decide, okay, fine, every single person has to benefit.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Agriculture has to do so and look and say, all right, marketing board, what do you need out of Shambo? So you have a man who's doing so, and his thing is peppers. 2-3 of them is peppers. Who is beans? Who is corn? Who is whatever? Because they have water. It's not that they don't have water. They have water, so water is life. That's it. So you have to do that sort of a controlled agriculture inside of Shambo. You will have those who will be doing animals.
Yeah.
Everything. You have to do so. And you have the land. What you have to do now is to cut the land, establish the roads, and ensure that proper agriculture takes. Otherwise, are they making no sense?
The management is important, right?
You're away from the mic, Mr. Budlal. That's why you're low.
Management is important.
Good.
No, I totally agree. As a matter of fact, there's a small committee which has to go out with the farmers because the farmers must be included. It don't make sense you're doing something for people who are not part of. No, I take all the points and you see the points you make. The next time we have a discussion vis-a-vis the group, I'll bring because the same kind of song I've been singing in terms of having. I don't understand why in terms of like the ID card, the ministry saying you want to do that and they could cause.
They could circumvent the whole thing. Come on.
Say, here is what required. Because of that, let me give you a special time. Yeah. So as you see, when you read it, you know that person from.
Let me say this, Carl.
Yeah.
You said that the farmers must be involved in what you're gonna do here. I don't agree. Because if you're saying that the farmers, and I'm being straight here, if you say that the farmers must be involved, next year, we're having the same discussion again. There comes a time when the authorities have to.
So the end justify the means.
We have to take control. You have to take control, and you have to say, farmers, this is what is happening.
You put structures in place and then...
You say this is what is going to take place because they're going to come and argue for the whole day. You're not going to go anywhere. So you need to put a very strong management team in place, which does not include any farmer. So no farmer could point to the next farmer and say, you go and do things for yourself. And you get preference. No. It may even be advisable to not take persons from the immediate area. So you can use Andrew. I know I'm hold on. I know General as a farmer, so I can be on that. But I'm saying to you, not even you, Keaton, is supposed to be on that. Because you're into agriculture not in the area, but in the locale. It must be a situation whereby persons are looking at this for the first time. And this is where the Ministry of Agriculture comes in. You're looking at, you know how much acreage, You have what do you call the thing? Drones. You get drone footage of the whole area. You know what it is. You know where is the best place to put animals. So you can say, okay, fine, we want goats here. We want sheep here. We want cattle over there. You understand? This area here, we're going to have beans, and we're going to have 3 farmers growing beans.
Then we got bees.
Bees, whatever. Do you understand? This is how it has to happen. Otherwise, y'all there next year this time, trust me. Y'all there again?
Food for thought.
Good afternoon, final caller, tell us.
Final caller and final statement, Mr. Andre. I think you was on top of the game this afternoon. And you're totally right. Too often when government set up industries or set up management teams, they don't prosper because they don't take seriousness. Time for proper planning. Time for proper planning and proper structures in place. And as you said, all these things should be out already. We should know the acreage. We should know what you need to plan. You have a proper management team. Too often those things happen. And I'm blaming every government.
Gotta go, Cliff.
Good.
All right. KB, final words.
I want to congratulate Sister Kate Lewis on the entire St. Andrews Northeast thing for that successful meeting in Bel School. The PM and the government team, and keep up the good works. St. Andrews Northeast.
St. Andrews Northeast. As a matter of fact, I heard, by the side, as you speak about the PM, I heard that there's going to be a meeting in where, boy? In Boca? Boca Secondary. Boca Secondary School. The Prime Minister is going to be there, I understand, on... When is it? Is it Tuesday? Tuesday the 15th? Yeah, the Prime Minister is going to be there on Tuesday the 15th. St. George's Northeast. So it's not an NNP meeting. No, it's a constituency branch meeting.
And what you mean is not an NNP meeting?
So it's not a meeting where Andre could just walk in. Andre is not.
Okay, I understand.
I'm not a member of the constituency. You understand?
Oh, I get you.
So that is going to be on Tuesday, I understand.
So caretaker for that area?
Well, there is no caretaker for the new national party at this time. I don't know about other parties.
Yeah, I mean for the new national party.
I don't know. I don't know. There is no caretaker. There are different conversations. I think, based on what I understand, there is one person looking at that particular position at this time. I guess we'll wait and we'll hear when that is done. But there's one person, not as many as 4 as we had in St. Patrick West. Richard, final words.
I want to congratulate Miss Thomas, Delma Thomas, for the volume of work that is done in the St. Andrews Northwest constituency, the Claboni Road, and all those minor projects. And you could see that the government is performing, KB, and just keep up the good work, and we're on board.
Keaton.
Final words?
Yeah. For today, not the final words on the program totally. Final words for today.
I don't want to congratulate the present administration in the way they handle the nation, vis-a-vis the COVID situation, vis-a-vis the situation with the teachers, vis-a-vis the situation with the economy. Because a lot of persons don't understand when the Prime Minister comes and say the economy is doing well, they say, well, pay the teachers, but we have to pay debt and all the social programs and so on. And I using a word from Brother Keeley, the Prime Minister and the government is performing with distinction. So I want us to continue to give them the full support and congratulate them on their journey.
And we expect you here back soon.
No, your final words gone already, KB. Your mic is off, so nobody has to hear you. You can't get in the groove. All right, folks, my final words is thank you so much for being a part of the program this afternoon. I believe that it was a successful one. And here's hoping that we will, with the help of the Ancient of Days, we'll be back here again next Sunday afternoon. As a matter of fact, we should all try to be back here. Sunday is Father's Day. Somebody, because I'm sure that someone will call during the week and say they're going to bring us a buffet lunch on Sunday right here. Sunday is Father's Day, next Sunday. Was that? I say you can't talk, your mic is off. I'm just saying to you, Sunday is Father's Day. Goodbye, guys. Take care. Have fun. God bless you. This is Real 91.9. Thanks again for listening, friends. I am out of here. Yes, I am. Bye-bye.
Baby, I just don't get it. Do you enjoy being hurt? I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on the shirt. You don't believe your stories. You know that there are lies. Bad as you are, you stick around, and I just don't know why. 'Cause if I was a man, baby, never worry about what I do. I'll be coming home back to you every night, doing you right. You're the type of woman you serve good things. It's for the diamonds and for the words. Baby, you're a star, and I just wanna show you you are. You should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you want and need. Baby, good love and protection. Make me yours. Show you the way love's supposed to be. You should let me love you, love you, love you, love you. Yeah. Listen.
Your true beauty's description looks so good that it hurts. You're a dime plus 99 with shame. Don't even know what you're in. Everywhere you go, they stop and stare. 'Cause you're bad and it shows. From your head to your toes, out of control. Baby, you know.
If I was your man,
baby, you
never worry about
what I do.
I'll be coming home
back to you
every night, doing you right. You're the type of woman
there's good things.
It's full of diamonds
and full of hands.
Today you're a star, and I just wanna show you you are. You should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you want and need. Well, baby, good love and protection. Make me yours. Show you the way love's supposed to. Maybe you should let me in. You deserve.
No, you deserve better.
Should be too. Baby, you is forever, girl. Can we make this thing ours? Baby, you should let me love you.
Let me be the one to give.
Say everything you need. Say everything. Will you take me?
You should let me love you.
Y'all make some noise for the day in the building, yeah?
Let's give it up for Mario.
Everybody put your hands together.